All right, welcome back, everyone, to Harbor Discussions. This is interview number 20. I'm in here with the members of Sunny Mondays, Through These Eyes, and Bo Racer. If y'all want to go around and introduce yourself by your name and your role in the bands.
I'm Mason, hello, my name is Mason. I play guitar and sing in Sunny Mondays. I play bass in Bo Racer, and I play guitar in Through These Eyes.
I'm Brian. I play drums. I play a lot of drums for everything.
My name's Austin, but my friends call me Oi, and I play bass for Sunny Mondays and Through These Eyes, and sometimes keyboard for Bo Racer.
So your friends call you Oi?
Yeah.
So how'd that come about?
Oh, does this have to be the first
Oh, the
question?
lore. This is the first time I think he's ever been asked to explain the lore of Oi.
Oh, we gotta get that.
Come on, yeah.
Oh,
You
man, I
gotta
was
reach
thinking
into the
about this
depths of
other
you.
day. I was thinking about this the other day. I can't. So basically, it kind of comes from me being made fun of, honestly, because I would be on Xbox party chat with my friends, and they would hear my mom calling my name, and they'd say she sounds like Austin.
I can attest that this is
So-
fucking true.
So it basically corrupted down
Aw, man.
to Oyston, to Ost, to Oist, to Oi, and now it's just down to. And I've embraced this as like
You've
I
taken
don't
the
know.
power back on it for sure because
Yeah,
you're Oi proud.
and this is so like on the spot. This is crazy, but
No, I'm glad you're explaining it because I don't think anyone's ever asked you, or I don't think you've ever given a proper.
Well, it's an interesting, like, when you're like, I go by Oi, I'm like, that's interesting.
It's at the point where I don't call him Austin. Like in
And
daily life.
it's like also like significant because like just basically my character development, I guess. Like I feel like I've grown a lot through like a lot of suffering, honestly, and just whatever. I mean, everyone goes through their own struggle, but you know, now I'm on a really good track.
Nice.
You know,
Hell
so
yeah.
I'm just gonna keep up with that.
Definitely.
Definitely
as
hit.
Oi to my Oi
Yes.
to my friends, but Austin to people that are like, I guess if I have to talk to someone at work or something on a professional
Right,
level.
right.
You'll still
If they-
be
if
like
they
I'm
want
To the
Austin.
music labels
No.
out there, it's Austin.
No, to the music labels out there, it's Oi actually.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm, you know, that can be. I was thinking. Sheesh. All right.
he's thinking too.
Yeah, no,
thinking
yeah,
too hard
yeah,
about it.
I said I can't think too deep into it, so whatever.
All right. So yeah, formal introductions are out of the way. Quick shout out to Alpha Hemp Solutions.
Hell yeah.
If you guys remember, I did an interview with them. They're a hemp-based product company out of Westminster, Maryland. I advertised their muscle repair lotion we talked about on their podcast, how they are now revamping that, as well as some new clothing into a whole gym-oriented line. Be on the lookout for that soon. This piece is not even out yet. Their collection's not out yet. So big shout out to Nate and all of them for hooking it up. And yeah,
Hell
gotta
yeah.
give a shout out. So I wanted to get some personal background out of the way first. Y'all are from the Baltimore area, correct?
Yeah.
Is this more near the city?
Dundalk for me.
He's
Okay.
from Dundalk. Actually, me and Austin or Oi are
We're more rural.
yeah, we live in like the White Marsh area, and he's my
Okay.
next door neighbor. He lives directly across the street from me.
Gotcha.
He has pretty much like my entire childhood. That's how we know each other.
Okay, so y'all known each other since childhood.
Yeah, me and Oi, I've known him. Well, he's a little bit older than me, but I've known him since I was a lot younger, and he was I guess he was younger too.
Okay, so how did y'all meet him?
Actually, we met him through the ex-guitarist of our band the other guitarist of Sunday Mondays introduced us to Brian, and that was about October of 2018.
Okay.
And yeah, we've been a three-piece for a while, for a good reason. But
Yeah, it's about 5 years, if not more.
yeah, very glad we were introduced to him because this dude is like crazy on the drums.
I just want to talk. It was so funny because it was like, oh, this guy's bringing me over somebody's house. oh, that's sketchy, and like I brought a friend with me because this specific person was bringing me.
Right,
And then,
right.
Like Mason's like, oh, he's bringing someone over. Oh, that's sketchy.
Yeah, yeah. Our introduction, we were both like, "Yo, who is?"
We're back. I really got to figure out what this technical fucking issue is because it sucks. So we were talking about just what it was like growing up in the parts of Maryland you grew up in, and then just upbringing. You were talking about something.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, part of Maryland I grew up in was pretty cool. We live right by the Gunpowder River, so
Yeah, y'all got the river.
I've grown up just like exploring those woods my entire youth.
Okay.
Me and Oid spend a lot of our time there, just fucking.
You said
chilling.
Gunpowder River.
Yes, Gunpowder River. What is it? Is it?
It's Big Gunpowder.
Yeah, Big Gunpowder River. I mean it's a river. It's a nice river. It used to be nicer, years ago, but it's kind of like polluted over time.
Water's a
I
little
got
murky.
you.
Yeah, but
not
it's
really
still
swimming like
it's still a you know.
hangout spot.
Yeah, it's still a nice environment. You know what I'm saying? We be looking at plants and bugs and stuff and mushrooms, but
Turtle tank and a
yeah,
trampoline.
there's a lot of spots there that are meaningful. I don't know. Or we could probably talk about it too. You've been going there longer than me because you've lived there. You're older than me.
Yeah,
longer
I've
than
been.
me.
So like we both live on the same street across from each other. You walk to the end of the street, and there is this giant concrete cylinder. Basically, it's like a wall. It's just a big circular wall. You can walk around it, and inside is a giant pit, and you can walk inside of there. There's like a ladder built into the wall, and there's graffiti all around it. But you walk farther down the trails, and there's the river, train bridge with a rope swing, and
Nice.
so and there's like extensive trails basically that lead all the way up to Loch Raven Reservoir.
Okay.
So and we'll usually, I mean, I'll usually hike and just look at whatever nature I can find, and we are all big into nature and hiking. And
I would say that's
camping.
probably a thing that we like all
Yeah.
love. Like one of the things.
That's
we notice
something
is, like,
I need to
hiking
get
and
back in
nature.
touch
Yeah.
with because I grew up as a kid just like always going on walks and stuff like that and like not taking serious hikes all the time but doing, a little here and there with my family and like there's nothing like a fucking hike on a
Absolutely.
beautiful day, man. It's like that really sets your whole energy, like that just puts you in the right vibrations.
We just got back from tour and we literally took like 4-hour detour just to go to like these springs
Nice.
and
We
swim
went-
in them and be in this like basically rainforest
Hell
We
yeah.
in
went
Florida.
From Virginia Beach to the Ocala National Forest in Florida, and then back up to South Carolina.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was only for the pure reason to go to this like
We literally
yeah.
went to Florida, parked in the parking lot, walked on the tiny trail at the spring, hopped in the spring, got back in the van, and then left Florida.
Yeah, when
Wow.
Tour
when-
was amazing. I
yeah,
can't
we-
wait to fucking
we
do that
drove-
again. Oh my god.
where did we go after that? South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina. We
West
drove from
Columbia.
Florida to South Carolina. Yeah, so that was fun, and that's what I mean. That's what we just love to do, like go on adventures outside. It's fun, and there's
Yeah.
nothing like it.
Definitely. So when did you first like start playing instruments and stuff like that?
I think we all started at different times. I started playing guitar probably 7th or 8th grade. I was really influenced by my brother, Jesse. He passed away when I was in 7th grade, and that was just around the time he was like showing me how to play guitar and stuff. So I started playing around then, and then got more serious about it about 9th or 10th grade. That's when me and Oy started playing music together.
Wait, so you also started in middle school?
Yes,
Around middle
yeah. I
school?
started around middle
Yeah,
school. So
same.
when did you start?
Yeah, I went around. I was also around middle school, and you are like 3 or 4 years younger than me. Or
I am 4 years younger than you, I think.
I'm 26.
I'm 21. I turned 22 in 2 months.
Word. Okay. So I've been playing music 5 years longer than you.
But you started around the same time in like middle school.
Basically, and it was like influenced by people I knew at the time, and
Another thing to mention is me and Oy had the same guitar teacher all throughout high school, Mr. King.
right, yeah,
Who
Mr.
taught us
King.
guitar.
Mr. King goated.
Yeah, Mr. King is like the sickest teacher I've ever. Not just like music teacher, sickest teacher I've ever had. Love that man. If this ever gets around to you, Mr. King, you're fucking sick.
Hell yeah.
Hope you're still inspiring more kids.
He covered one of our songs.
Yes. Oh my
he-
God, I totally
What?
forgot
Covered
about
our
that.
songs.
That's
You
cool.
reminded me that. Yeah,
He covered our song Homeward.
Yeah, covered Homeward. Like he's genuinely like.
Was this out of school?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
this
on
is-
a
this-
Facebook live stream
this
because
is-
you can't he couldn't.
Yeah, this was all after we had both graduated.
Right. No, that's cool. Hell yeah.
He's a cool guy. But when did you start?
I started. I don't know. I guess I started young.
This man has
I-
been playing.
I remember being a little kid and having a drum kit, and that was. I mean, I was just like a little kid with a drum kit. We
Right.
lived in a row home. I couldn't really play it like that, and but like my dad was like playing music my whole life. He had like a BC Rich Warlock and like big PV speakers in our row home living room, and like would just play guitar a lot. And so I was around music in like a setting with like equipment and all that,
Right.
you know, basically my whole life. And then like here I am like 10 or 11 years old playing Rock Band. And I would play, I know the first song I played, I forget what the song's called, but it's like their one hit song, well I guess maybe Queens of the Stone Age, that one song. I don't know what it is, but I got like 100% on expert on drums on that, pardon me. And yeah, so I realized, I was like, wait, I can do this in Rock Band. And then I started playing Hook, Line, and Sinner by Texas in July because it was like 99 cents on the store. And then I was already listening to like Asking Alexandria.
Yeah, that was the very first band that I ever got into because my brother was playing Asking Alexandria in the car, and I was
Yeah.
like probably in like 4th grade, maybe 3rd grade. It was probably closer to 4th, but like my mind was blown.
Oh, yeah.
And I was
No.
like, this shit's, I gotta know what this is. I
'Cause,
gotta
like-
be into this.
Because, like, that was, Asking Alexandria was, like, the first band that I listened to where I was like, why does his voice sound like that?
Right. And I'm assuming we're both talking about like the stand up and
Yeah,
scream
Stand Up and
days.
Scream,
yeah,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Fucking the final episode
Yeah,
came on. I was
exactly.
like, what?
So on Rock Band, they had the final episode. They had Morte et Thabo.
That song
And-
is actually pretty fucking crazy. Like the
Yeah.
lyrics to that
Yeah,
song
I
are
know.
fucking morbid as hell.
Their drummer's Christian as heck, too.
Yeah, I remember because like fucking you were asking me about inspirations for interviewing.
Yeah.
This is like way back in the day, man. Like it took me a while to remember that I used to watch Brian Stars interview people. That motherfucker was low key an inspiration for me because
That's
like
funny.
as
Where-
a little kid,
What's he doing now?
I don't know, man. I
Something.
Yeah,
Some-
you know what? He can stay there. He can stay there. But
yeah, I can't remember. I remember he had some weird shit going on. I can't exactly remember.
That was the culture, though.
no,
That
yeah,
was
no,
the
for
culture.
sure though.
Oh, dude.
Like I get you.
He
I get
said
you.
that, like I don't know anyone else that was really doing what he was doing, really, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he fucking. I feel like low key, even if he did, I kind of want to like look into what the hell Brian Stars did, Like,
He
I want to
did
know why.
something.
Why
I
did
know he did
It was something that I wouldn't want to be said about me. That's all
Right.
I'm saying. But I'm not sure exactly what.
But nah, it was like, so I was playing them songs on Rock Band, and my dad comes out of his bedroom once, and then he's like, "It is 2 a.m. Stop kicking on the floors. There's a real drum kit downstairs for Fire and Elysium, my dad's band. Go down there tomorrow and play Scott's drums." And then here we are, like 12 years later. So
I'd want to say that when we met Brian, this kid was already crazy at the drums. Like, we're like, what the hell?
I don't know. I grew up playing along to stuff like that, Asking Alexandria volumes, later on Animals as Leaders and stuff, and it's like, I guess I would play along with my headphones in my ears, but I didn't ever have much fundamental education, so I feel the need to disagree with you to an extent when you say that based on the lack of fundamentals.
I think that
But-
I think, well, also here's what I think that my amazement with your drumming came from your specific style and influence, and I think that really like ties into like the influence of the band, because like you come from like listening to like Asking Alexandria, like you're saying Texas in July, like volumes, these crazy like, you showed me that music. Like, I didn't listen to any of that before I met you, and I think that ties into why I thought your drumming was so amazing. And it was amazing. Not to put yourself down, also, but like, I didn't know any of that music until I met you. Really.
I don't remember exact quoting, but I remember like the indication that you don't listen to heavy music, and I'm like, oh, check this out. Here, listen to this. Here, listen
Yeah,
to this.
he has opened my eyes to all of that realm. Actually, like, Brian has shown me a lot of music.
Nice.
He showed me a lot of math rock too, not just like heavy stuff. Like, he showed me Chan, which is like one of my favorite bands. He showed me Animals as Leaders, Mestis. Like, yeah,
Hell
a lot
yeah.
of bands.
So y'all were talking about school a little bit. I kind of wanted to ask what school was like for y'all. Just like kind of the more,
Oh,
you know,
jeez.
the more prominent school years.
We're gonna have different answers.
I
so.
had fun in school.
There you
I
go.
had a good time.
That's
I went
good.
to Patapsco High School and Center for the Arts. I guess there's definitely notable people from there that I could note. But long story short, I had fun. Like, I started skipping when I was in like 12th grade, but only in 12th grade.
I was
All my
about to
friends
say
were
that's
skipping
pretty late.
immediately.
A lot of, I mean, like I only skipped
I
school
couldn't
like
say that
a
at all.
handful of times. but, like,
Yeah.
And to be fair, I wasn't even really skipping. I had a student aid thing,
Okay.
and so I had 2 lunch periods, and I would look at the history teacher, Mr. Warble, and I'd say, "Hey, am I good?" And he'd say, "Did you grade those papers?" And I'd be like, "Yup." And he's like, "Yup." And then he hands me 75 cents and he says, "Bring me back milk and cookies."
There you go.
And then I would be walking down to the corner store, grabbing a Lucy, and then coming back.
Yeah, I like because I know myself and like other kids, like, you know, if you complete credits early and shit like that, you can fucking pretty
Oh,
much
dude.
do whatever.
My
your
senior year was crazy
Yeah,
because
I
I
took
had
the-
half day. Yeah.
Well, I specifically took the student aid thing because I
Right.
was like,
I
I knew I was having fun, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna do public school again. Let me just,
Right.
let me stay around here while I can, just while I can, you know.
So the school you went to wasn't like typical school.
No, it wasn't. It's a magnet school.
Magnet School
Center for the Arts.
Patapsco.
They got the music program, they got the theater program, the
That's
dance
dope.
program, the arts program. I was hanging out in the art hall a lot. And
Yeah, I feel like you don't really see too many schools like that around.
No, I mean, me and Oi went to the same high school. I want you to talk about your schooling a little
Oh,
bit. 'cause
man.
you haven't
I'm
said
not
anything.
I'm not gonna talk about the classes. I'm gonna talk about my fucking friend group that I had. Oh my god.
Well, that's all part of it.
Definitely. Who
Bro.
the fuck? Like, well, here's the thing, right? When it comes to talking about fun high school memories, who the fuck's talking about class?
No, for real. It's like,
Nobody's
yeah, I loved when
talking-
we were doing that one assignment.
Get
Yeah, yeah.
the fuck out of here.
Bro, we had I had my little crew, you know, and we fucking skated, we smoked, we we just did hood rat shit. I don't know how else to say it.
I like to do hood rat stuff with my friends.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the times we got on top of the school and we duct taped this giant Darth Maul cutout. There's
Nice.
this cardboard cutout of Darth Maul, and we went to Perry Hall High.
Yeah, the high school is called Perry Hall High
So
School.
we
Okay.
taped it over Hall. We taped Darth Maul over
You're admitting to a crime right now, basically.
on
no,
no.
I'm the statute
Statute,
of
yeah.
limitations.
Someone's
Yeah.
gonna be like, man, I remember that Darth Maul.
And,
Also,
so it
like,
said Perry
no
Mall.
police would
Yeah,
care.
yeah. No,
They'd be like, that's a waste of our resources.
Yeah,
It was Perry Mall on May the 4th. May the 4th. Yeah.
So good.
And that was just one of the things really, but I mean, I don't really talk to any of those friends anymore cuz a lot of people kind of went down the wrong path basically.
I hear you.
So like there's only one or two friends that I can think of that I would still talk to today, and one of them is getting married today. So shout out to shout out Connor and shout out Ben
Yes,
who's
hell
driving
yeah.
Hell yeah.
to
Ben Vargas.
yeah. So Ben is driving right now to West Virginia or something. I don't know. He's driving like 5 hours to go see our friend Connor get married.
Oh wow, I didn't realize it was that far out.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'm not going to it. I'm here instead.
He's here at this podcast instead of his friend's wedding, so that shows his dedication. Okay.
Well, I mean, I
I've been
have fun being married, bro.
I haven't really told this because I mean it's not the best, but like this band is kind of the reason that I didn't graduate high school. Because we started this band in about 2018. My graduating class was 2019.
Okay.
So when we started playing shows, I kind of like I was not doing good in all my classes. I got to the point where I was not failing Algebra 2, but man, I'm
Fuck
really fucking
algebra.
bad at math, okay? And I
Algebra-
failed Algebra 2 because, listen, we had shit to do. Like I said, in my senior year, I took half day, so I only had to be there until like 12 noon. Yeah.
Right.
And then my first class on my A days was student aid for guitar, so I just probably like didn't show up to school a lot of times because I had one class.
Right,
and,
right.
Anyway, I mean, sorry, Mom, but like I don't regret. I don't know what. I don't know.
He said, "That's so cool."
Yeah. I was telling Bailey the story, and he's like, "Dude, you didn't for music. That's so cool, dude." I'm like, I don't know. I should probably like get my GED or something. But
I was a star student. And I actually
That's
went
up
to
to you,
college.
man.
school and me is not compatible, really. Though I'm an okay test taker, but like, man, I'm just not compatible with school.
Hey,
like
you're
that.
doing something. You're doing music. You know what you want to do. I think that's better than what a lot of people do. I mean, it would be different if you had no clue what you wanted to do.
right.
It was
well,
just because a lot of people skip or don't even graduate and they go into like a bad lifestyle. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't even justify that. You know what I mean? But someone, there's a lot of people who never
absolutely.
finished school and stuff like that because they knew. A lot of people just know. Like even if they don't know what they're going to achieve one day, they just know for whatever reason in their soul. They're like, man, I am meant for better shit than this here.
I don't know. I really value learning and education. Like I don't think that that's something to be looked at in any lens other than with respect. But like it's not for me in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things I want to learn, and I think that I can.
I don't think it was the learning and all that.
Right,
I
right.
think it's the structure of the school system that you didn't fuck with, which is like, I've seen a lot of videos pointing out how like basically they're just ruining what like a kid's spirit is.
I think I had a lot of resentment for the fact that I had to be there. Like there was no choice in what I was doing, and like there's a lot of things I want to get into and learn, but like when I was a kid, I was like, man, I want to fucking, play music. I want to.
I will be damned if like if I have a kid and a doctor like will try to tell me that my kid has trouble fucking focusing. I'll be like, dude, he's a kid. Fucking. Now here's the thing.
I got
right?
ADHD.
Oh my god, the way that I think about it is that we're supposed to be growing up in the wild with a bunch of stimulus around us.
Exactly.
We're supposed to be looking
That's
at
what
all
I was
the,
about to
like,
get
I want to
into.
be ripping flesh with my teeth and crawling through the bushes,
digging
no.
holes, eating fucking.
Nah, he's got a point though. It's like as a kid, you're supposed to be like wanting to fucking
Fiddle with,
shit.
yeah, you
you're
want to be
supposed to
doing
want to
everything.
fulfill and find out what you're into. Instead,
Sure.
it's like, It's like, no, you have to sit here all day. You have to, you can't talk. You can't move.
To be fair, also though, high school memories, I think that those memories are core memories that
Yeah,
a lot of
energy.
kids should experience.
Definitely.
Like public school, there's a thing to be said about homeschooling because, homeschooling is great and can go really well, but I feel like having those interactions, like, high school was a mixing pot of cultures and, like, people, like, you get to meet
I think
a lot
public
of new
school
people.
is good for, it's good for teaching kids how to be social and,
Yeah, exactly.
ingratiate with other kids and shit like that. But it's also good at making them obedient as well.
Oh,
That's the other thing.
yeah.
It's like, it's good. That's the thing. It's like, like you said, you appreciate learning and education and shit like that, but what you don't appreciate is being forced to sit there all day, and
Yeah.
basically being forced to just be obedient, sit there all day, do what they tell you. It's like there's people out there that say like they basically are just pumping out good workers for
I mean, they're
Absolutely.
where I'm sitting in this U.S. history class, like, you know what I'm saying, that they've regurgitated to me for the past 5 years over again, the same shit. It's like, I don't need to be learning this.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this too because I failed algebra as well. Fuck algebra.
Dude, algebra,
Fuck
dude.
trigonometry.
Yes.
Fuck geometry.
I didn't even make it to trig, but fuck
Yeah.
that too. I bet it's even worse. Fuck
Yeah.
that.
If it's not addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions and percentages, fuck off.
We have a song out there. If you want to dig, it's not on our actual profile because it's under Sunny Mondays with like a period next to it by accident because it was uploaded with a split with this band called Pronouns. But we have a song called
Okay.
Algebra 2,
I don't even know
and
about
it's
this.
technically a diss track to Algebra 2.
Good.
So
I like that.
fuck Algebra 2.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck algebra
In general.
and geometry.
I failed algebra for years. I don't know how I passed and you didn't.
It's the dumbest shit ever.
I was a
It
star
makes-
This guy passed it, not me.
Oh,
No,
me
I'm
too.
joking. I'm joking.
I was a star student too. I'd tell the teacher instead of write it down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, wait. I think I got in trouble for not showing my work.
No, I was about to say the same shit. I was like, the work is up here, bro. I'm not showing my work.
Yeah, fuck that. That shit's crazy.
I like how we're all like, oh my god.
Nah, what's
we
crazy
gotta
is
show our work.
some
Yo, fuck Common Core math. Fuck Common Core.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, because what's crazy is like
Why?
Common Core fucked up everybody. Cause I would bring home my like it used to be like parents could help their kids with homework.
I like this
Every time-
podcast.
Yeah.
I fucking yeah.
Every time I would bring math homework to my mom or my dad, they'd go, "What the fuck is this?" Or like
Absolutely.
or I would tell them the way that I was taught. They'd be like, "Why? Just do this. It's so much easier." And what's fucked up is a lot of schools, you go and try and do it the old way, the easier way. They're like, "You can't do it that way. If you do it that way, it's incorrect."
Bro,
What? Say, I got the answer.
they're trying to they're trying to make it overly complicated and confuse our little ape brains. I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, I really don't like. I'm glad you mentioned Common Core because
Yeah,
that is
I'm directly calling out Common Core.
Common Core fucking sucks.
Who else can we? Put a target on their heads.
I had a real, like I said before, I had a really good school experience.
Yeah,
I did too. I mean, I can say that I had some fun. I
dude,
mean,
talk about your Chinese teacher.
It's about the
Wei Lao
journey.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wei Lao Sure. Rest in
Talk
peace.
about Chinese. This man took Chinese in high school and then has
No.
continued.
I went to Solars Point Technical High School for a half day. It was like I guess you call it vocational. I don't know. It was.
Okay.
I went for engineering. I thought I was going to be a civil engineer, and I went, and it's 2 kids from each school in Baltimore County, BCPS, and all of them. It was like literally, I'd go to Patapsco half day, and then I'd go to Solars, and then it would just be the one class for 3 hours of the day.
okay.
And it's all these 2 kids from each school throwing them big erasers at the teacher.
Oh man.
Oh my
And
god.
that was it.
Now, when you say big erasers, do you mean like the ones
No,
that
like
say
the-
for
like
big
For
mistakes?
big mistakes.
Oh no!
Damn!
Actual big
Those
ones.
ones?
For big mistakes.
Dude, that's a break.
Big
Yeah.
mistakes.
And it was so it was that. It was kids doing RKOs.
That's
And
crazy.
it was the teacher crying. And finally 11th grade rolls around,
Emotionally broken.
and I went to the guidance counselor, and I'm like, "Look, Miss Lady, I want to get the heck out of here. You guys wear suits. The kids throw erasers. There's no connection. This school sucks." And she looks at me and she's like, "I like your hair." And I'm like, "Please get me the heck out of here."
Oh
True
my
story, by the way.
God.
No,
True
that was
story.
her exact response.
Yes.
Oh
Yeah.
my
It's
fucking
like-
god.
I'm not even baffled at them throwing erasers. It's the 4 big mistakes ones. Those are so big.
That's
and
what I was
so-
saying. That's a brick. That is a brick, my friend.
No, maybe they were just big to us back then because we were small. I don't know. We
True.
were,
Yeah,
I've
mean-
grown. I've certainly
Yeah,
grown. since
we
then.
go to look at one today and it's this big.
Little tiny.
Yeah.
No, and like for instance, like we're soldering circuit boards. We're building these stupid little clocks, and which I still have the kit for actually. And we're soldering these circuit boards, and the one kid takes a soldering iron and lays it on my homie BDP's arm. And just lays it on his arm.
Damn.
So that was the vibe of the class. And like I told BDP, I was like, punch him in the face, punch him in the face.
Goddamn
And he-
right.
And he looks at me. He's like, no, it's okay. But so long story short, I got the heck out of there. I went to the guidance counselor's office at Patapsco.
Yo, they're burning people here. Get me out of here.
Yeah,
He
dude, they're
was
going crazy.
blistered.
Hey,
It was
yo.
bad.
This kid was branded in my class. If you don't get me the fuck out of here now.
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Or BDP.
And you've never met BDP.
No, but you
I haven't seen him
told
in
me
years.
about him.
He watches
many
my
a
Instagram
times.
story.
Shout out BDP. I don't know you, bro, but
BDP. Well, I'm Brian and he's Brian, but his is named with a Y, so we call him BDP because I'm Brian.
yeah, you're the one who gets to take the claim on the Brian name.
It's
He-
spelled with an I.
yeah.
So. Yeah, I'm
What does
Brian,
that
yeah.
mean? It's superior. Well, I becomes for Y.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I go to the guidance counselor at Patapsco, and they're like, "Okay, you can take these classes." And I saw Chinese on there, Chinese 1, and I was like, "I'll do that." And the lady looks at me like I'm crazy,
Right.
and she's like, "Okay, I'm going to bring the teacher in here." And Wei Lao Shi, I sit there for 10 minutes. Wei Lao Shi comes in, and she's like got like tears in her eyes, and like it's like the end of the first quarter. I think it was her first year teaching at Patapsco, or maybe it was her first year teaching in general, and she's got like tears in her eyes, and she's like, "You don't want to do this. Don't
Damn.
do this. Every student in the class does not have a passing grade. I don't want you to join them." And
Wow.
I looked right at her and I was like, "No, I'll do it. I'll do it." And I went in there. I ain't going to toot my own horn, but
That's so
I was totally top of the class.
Nah, man, you probably meant a lot to that teacher because, like, I feel like she. It's not like she
I
didn't
think
want
you
you to
did.
join the class. I think she
Yeah.
just felt bad as a teacher, because, like, and that's a good teacher
She
because
was
some.
scared, you know.
Well, some teachers are like, here's the thing. Everyone as a student always had the mentality of like, shit, if we all failed, then clearly it was the teacher's fault. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Exactly.
but there's teachers out there that are like, all of you failed. All of you. This is
Right.
unacceptable. And we're all like, motherfucker, you taught us. But if she's worried about that, you know what I mean? That's
yeah,
like,
and she was a person. She was straight up a person. She was so
yeah,
cool.
teachers are people, and like,
Mhm.
you know, not everybody, but like, I know I had my fair share of times being a little bit of an asshole, more of an ass than an asshole. You know what I mean? I
When
was,
you're in high school, I mean,
but you know,
learning.
you mature a little bit, you start
Yeah.
to realize like, yo, these teachers got it hard, and like, you know,
they
you
do.
start.
They
you
seriously
know,
do. I mean, a lot of respect for teachers.
And
Definitely.
yeah, I don't know. She was young and I don't know. She was cool. She ended up being one of my really good friends.
Nice.
She like we did the foreign exchange program. She came over to my house because they got to do that, and like she ended up like hanging out for like hours, and she's like petting the rabbits and all this and that. And like, it was just we had a really good relationship. She gave me my acoustic guitar before she
Nice.
went to China.
Wow.
Cause I took Chinese 1 and Chinese 2, and during Chinese 2 we did the foreign exchange. I had my friend Trevor.
Shout out Trevor.
Boweray, yeah. He came over, lived with us for 6 weeks. He just graduated from Ohio State University, actually. So he came back to America for that.
Okay.
But, like, Chinese 1, Chinese 2, and then Wei Lao Shi at the end of Chinese 2, my senior year, she went to Xi'an in China. And she ended up passing away there, and it was
Rest in
I
peace.
said, she was young, and it was a accident. She ended up passing away.
Damn.
But so everything I do for Wei Lao Shi.
Nice. I'm glad you mentioned
Seriously,
her
yeah.
because like I try to make it a thing if I can to like bring up anybody that's passed, you know, that's
Mhm.
relevant to the band
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
because like got to keep these people alive, you know.
Definitely.
I'm looking for Steve Wickers.
Oh, dude, this is an open call. Steve Wickers, if you exist, because, like, if you're not just a
You're out
figment of
there.
fucking Oi's imagination that he's been telling me about for years, can you, like, contact him so he doesn't
No, he's the one.
think he's insane
he's the one-
anymore?
He's not like Reznov. No. He's the no. He's the fucking one that got me to play guitar in the first place.
I don't know. I kind of think he's not real. I kind of think he's not
out
real.
there. I mean, Steve Wickers isn't his real name. That's the catch. But he.
What is his real name? Do you know? Can you say it? Can we legally say
His real name is Marcus Harris, and
Marcus Harris?
we had a band called Unprovoked Moose Attack, and I think he started a band called Embraced in Gray at one point, but we weren't talking at that point.
Oh, you weren't
Uh,
talking? What happened? Was
I
there a
don't know what
falling out?
happened.
Okay.
Just
Well,
what
somebody
happened.
find Marcus Harris.
No, he's there's so many Marcus Harrises. There's so
Somebody
many.
find. Okay, there's no Marcus Harris, Steve Wickers. There's only one.
Does anybody here play Red Dead Redemption 2?
I would like to. My PlayStation's broke.
I gotcha. So, I'm only bringing that up because unprovoked moose attack is something that could actually happen in that game. You'll literally be... There's a famous video where this guy is standing on the edge of a cliff, and literally a fucking moose comes out of nowhere, trucks the guy, launches him off a cliff, and dies.
I mean, that's a realistic thing. A moose would do that to you in real life.
Yo,
Yeah.
I love that game. That game did something. That game's different.
It
Yeah.
is. I
love
like,
it.
and what's crazy is like I was always just. I'm not big into games. I'm like the kind of person that like I play the same game.
What
for,
have you been playing recently?
So, very recently I started playing Grand Theft Auto 4. Like
Dude,
I always kind of like
classic.
that's a game that my brother would put on for me when I was little.
Eco.
Yeah, but I never played
Yeah.
the story mode. You know what I mean? So I'm playing the story
Yeah.
mode now. But like I'm really into Grand Theft Auto, like Forza and Midnight Club, those kind of games. And then like everybody plays Minecraft and shit like that. But I was pretty much exclusively playing Grand Theft Auto 5, and
I just started. I was just playing that today before I came here. I was playing GTA Online. For the
nice.
First time in a while. Actually.
Yeah, so my friends Zach and Gabe, who I've known since like middle school, they always play Red Dead Redemption at their house, and I pretty much always watched them play, and I would maybe play every now and then. But the controls are different, and
Yeah.
it's like it's definitely a lot different than Grand Theft Auto 5. It's a lot more realistic and shit like
It's
that.
clunkier and slower.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so-
how I was. Not bad. Not necessarily a bad way, but it's a lot slower. Huh?
There's just not cars.
Right. So
What do you mean?
You run the same.
Yeah.
So eventually I bought the game, and then I think I started watching YouTube videos or something like that. But no, he's right. When you play that campaign, it's a fucking cinematic masterpiece, and that's like not even exaggerating at all.
It really is.
But no, it's funny because like there's so many things that they put in that game, like moose attacks. You'll be standing there and a fucking moose will like literally knock you to the floor, and it's like out of nowhere. One time, right? What's annoying is when you're riding on your horse, there's like rabbits and all sorts of shit that you kill birds and you kill rabbits all the
Right.
time, right? One time I fucking like ran over this rabbit, and I swear to Christ, another rabbit came up like it was his fucking friend or something, and was just like sitting there right at its corpse, and I'm like, oh my, exactly, I'm like, oh my god.
What have I done?
Right, so but also like I try not to be wasteful in the game. So
yeah.
you can pick up the fucking thing and keep it for
Yeah.
meat and stuff.
toss it on the
As
horse,
soon as I
yeah.
pick it up and I go to put it on my horse, the rabbit starts following me. I'm like, this thing is not following its dead fucking friend. I swear to God, no matter where I went, this little rabbit was following his fucking
What
friend.
the fuck?
My mom, she cracks up about it to this day because I showed her. I'm like, you gotta see this. I'm like,
That's
"This-"
crazy.
And it was it made you sad.
That is
like,
sad. Yo,
It
he's
is
like,
fucking sad. Because imagine like a little fawn right next to a dead deer on the road. You'd be like, oh man, and like imagine,
bro, I would cry.
yeah, no, imagine like animal controls taking away a dead deer carcass on the side of the road, and you see a little fawn just like fucking following it. You'd be like, oh my god. So the last question I have for the personal background stuff, then we'll start getting into the music. How'd you get into the hardcore space? And we kind of talked about getting into other metal music already, but I guess kind of talk about how you got into the local space.
I
and
think
whatnot.
Brian should answer this question.
You know, I don't know. I've been going to like heavier shows. It was kind of dead. I'm blaming the promoters. But I've been going to heavier shows since I was like 11 years old. I used to be at Fishhead Cantina every other weekend,
Okay.
and that was fun. That was cool. But like, you know what? Soundstage, Baltimore Soundstage. I was born and raised Baltimore Soundstage. Going to see
Nice.
metalcore shows there, and I made
Definitely.
friends at the metalcore shows, and the
Nice.
friends from the metalcore shows go to all the cool shows that happen in the little bars, and
It's impressive to make friends at bigger shows like that. It's a lot harder for sure.
yeah, and then it's like, so I guess in the past 5 or 6 years, I've found myself more in the environments where there's people doing cartwheels into the small crowd.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
That's what I'm all about.
Yeah.
I'm ready to.
Smaller shows are less intense, but you still get the love and everything
Yeah,
like that. And
absolutely.
I don't even mean intense in like a mosh way. I just mean overall.
No,
Less
overall.
people. I
I-
don't know. There's just something about getting in a crowd with too many people.
I broke my arm
Mhm.
seeing Invent Animate because I was moshing like I was in a little bar.
Mhm.
Soundstage.
At
Soundstage.
yeah.
Baltimore Soundstage
Beautiful
is a
place.
very important venue, I would say, to
But like,
Definitely.
all of us, honestly.
I mean,
It's-
in a way, in like a tangent kind of way, I've really think that most of the way I got into the hardcore scene specifically is like Kayanashi. Like,
I was
Hell
gonna
yeah,
say
we're gonna
that.
talk about them for sure.
Yeah.
like I got the Never Home tattooed on my leg right
Hell
here.
yeah,
you know, and
nice.
it's like I saw them at the Rockwell on Broadway in Fells in Baltimore, and that was a legendary show. It ended in a brawl that I totally wasn't involved in. I don't know what anyone's talking about, but like I don't know, seeing that specific environment.
Nah, cause I know a guy that looks like you.
yeah. It was a coincidence.
Total
Yeah,
coincidence.
yeah.
No, I got rocked. I got rocked, and my ex-girlfriend didn't like that. And then all of a sudden, I had her in a full Nelson, and then and then Zach was wrapped up on Brady,
Zach
and then,
Hopwood?
yeah, there was like. That's what Brady said. I didn't see it, but there was like 4 fights that happened at the exact same time, and it was kind of like across our friend group.
Cal
Yeah,
Nasi.
yeah.
Cal Nasi at the Rockwell.
It
I
was
wasn't
during
there.
the basics.
That was like
They-
the one Cal Nasi show I missed.
They were playing the basics, and it was crazy.
Nice.
Oh my god. And then so that was a big drive for me in just specifically an attendance sense. You know, I was like, wait a second, this is where I'm at right now. Okay.
Yo,
okay.
shout out Bedroom Floor. Shout out.
Hell yeah.
True.
Who have we played with? I want to shout out some cool bands that we played with. Shout out to Two Piece.
Dude, yeah, I have
Yeah.
a whole note about that show. We'll get into it a
Yo.
little bit later, but yeah, 'cause
Shout
I
out.
love Two Piece, man.
Damage Control.
Dirty Southern Beatdown,
Um,
baby.
Love for Strangers.
Yeah, Love for Strangers. Well, I was trying to shout out hardcore bands because if we're gonna start shouting
Shout
out
out
local
any-
bands,
yeah,
we're gonna
no.
this will go forever. Cause
Yeah,
like
yeah.
shout out Elsewhere, Pennsylvania. Cause
Hell
I think
yeah.
there's another Elsewhere Elsewhere
Aux.
band. Yeah. Pass the Aux podcast. That's the other podcast we've done. They have a podcast too. They're
What's the
really cool.
podcast again?
It's called Pass the Aux.
Pass the Aux.
Yeah,
I
Pass
think
the
I
Aux
might have heard
cast.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're cool.
I'm always trying to like help promote other podcasts.
Yeah, Tyler and Ario, the hosts of that podcast. Ario,
Is
Zach.
it also music based?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
interview bands
Cool.
and stuff too.
Hell yeah.
You guys should link up. You guys do like a podcast
Yeah. no,
interview type
definitely.
thing. That would be so cool actually.
I am always down to go on anybody's
and
podcast.
you should have them on Elsewhere. They would be sick.
Yeah, Elsewhere is cool.
Okay,
They're
cool.
cool
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
First time meeting Elsewhere, or not, actually I didn't meet them, but first time seeing them was seeing Texas in July on May
Yes,
2nd
yeah.
of 2022 or 2021. That was 2021, I think.
Yeah, dude, it's been a minute, bro. There's a video of me
Oh my god.
there's a video of me moshing with a cup of ice water on my bruised eye, like.
Still going.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
But the floor was very slippery.
Dude, my brother literally snapped his leg like clean in half at a Devil Wears Prada show because there was.
Bro, this is a
beer all-
PSA. If you dump your fucking drink on the ground, if it like there are people
you
who
have
do
your
it.
drink.
Right. Like
have your
honestly,
drink.
there is a thing to be said about having a full drink next to a mosh pit because you know at some point that's gonna end up on the floor where everybody's gonna
Right.
slip on.
And can we also just like why we gotta be throwing water and shit around?
Exactly.
It is dangerous as fuck. And my brother.
It genuinely is.
I saw my brother. I want to say it was at the Kubla Khan Knocked Loose show at Soundstage.
April 5th with movements.
Yeah. So fucking, I literally think he fucking, cause someone like threw their shirt on the ground. I saw him literally like fucking wiping the fucking beer
Yeah,
off with his
yeah.
foot, and I was like, I applaud.
Thank you.
But no, because he was at a Devil Wears Prada show, slipped on beer, someone else was moshing, snap, clean,
Woo!
break.
Yeah, that's a.
put him in a wheelchair, boy.
Woo! I've never broken a bone, so I don't wish to think about if I did. Have you?
I've torn a tendon at a mosh pit once. Have y'all ever heard of Mosh Against Addiction?
Yeah.
So 2019 is the only year I went.
I think our buddy Mike helped put that together.
Yeah. Mike Dakota from Pronouns.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mike, shout out Mike Dakota. He's cool. He produced the Through These Eyes single.
So I cannot remember what set it was during, but I was in and around the pit, and I had a big gentleman being pushed towards me. I'm pretty small, so I had a couple options. I could move out of the way. I felt though like that would have been a bitch move. So what else could I do?
You know,
Maybe
I've
duck down.
pondered that before, but I always fucking run. I always.
I don't know. In the moment, I was like, I don't want to run right now. And I also, I'm clearly not ducking down. That ain't going to do nothing. So I was like, I'm going to push this motherfucker back. What happened, though, was you ever catch a basketball wrong and your thumb?
No, dude. Yes, dude. I've done a football like that. Oh my god. Middle school.
So imagine someone who's easily twice your size
No.
getting
no.
jammed right into your thumb. So, yeah. Oh, it hurt. And
Yeah, that don't sound good.
But just like when you catch a basketball wrong, you kind of just shake it off, keep playing basketball. So I continue to mosh. I'm attempting to do cartwheels because my friend Sam, shout out Sam, fucking Spaceman Sam, he was...
Cartwheels is where if you're doing cartwheels in the pit, you're doing something right.
This motherfucker is crazy.
He kills it with the cartwheels.
Oh, yeah. Fucking... I don't think Sam goes to as many hardcore shows now. He was like my 4th interview. He used to be like a local promoter and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But he was known for being fucking a wild mosh man. They called him Spaceman Sam
Hell
for that.
yeah.
But yeah, and like, you know, it was sore that night. Nothing too crazy. I woke up the next morning. I could not move my thumb.
Oh my god.
And I was like, yeah, this shit hurts. And then, yeah, it turns out I tore a tendon in my hand. And I was this close. I forgot what I almost tore. But so I was in a brace, like one of those Velcro braces that you can take off. They said I was this close to tearing something to where I would have had to been in a full fucking cast.
Ooh.
Because I was this close to tearing some shit that, like, you cannot risk fucking, you know what I mean? Because, like, if they give you the Velcro shit, it ain't that serious.
They
'Cause-
cast the
But
actual,
when they
like,
cast
yeah,
you,
yeah,
that
yeah.
means you ain't supposed to be fucking with whatever. But, yeah, that's really the worst injury I've ever caught at a show. And then walking out, I remember you got to be vigilant when you're at these pits and you can't get salty when you get hit because you weren't looking.
For sure. No, for
Because
sure.
I was walking out of the show. I remember literally walking, and I'm just walking like this, and I just remember, boom, caught someone's arm, and I was like, oh shit, okay, my bad. You know? But nah, some people, and you see it more and more in comment sections nowadays.
Oh my god.
People who don't fucking know. Like,
Back in my day.
there is a huge discourse online like I'm there about moshing and
because it's like
crowd
oh yeah,
killing.
back when I was going to shows, this wouldn't have happened. We would have fought, and it's like, man, look at hardcore music. It's back to the '80s. Like, you're not even that old. Like, people have been swinging their arms around since 10 years before you were born.
guaranteed.
That's what I'm saying. You can find videos from the 90s and the 80s of people moshing, if not crazier than they're doing
That's
today.
what I'm
You know what I'm saying?
saying.
This
It's
is not
soft
new.
compared
People
to
are
that.
acting like because the new generation is doing it that it's terrible.
Like,
Like,
what did Taylor say in that
Exactly.
Facebook post about that Key Brewing show? He's like, it's not 1998. Don't throw that trash can in that. You know what I'm saying? Out
okay,
here,
I don't know about throwing trash cans, but
Nico hit me in the face with that trash can.
Damn.
That was crazy.
you ever seen that episode of It's Always Sunny where Cricket gets hit with the trash can and then starts bleeding
remember.
everywhere? No, I'm not sure.
No, like it was this one specific show. It was supposed to be. Do you know Fort Armistead?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I haven't
supposed to
been there yet, but I really,
It's
it
right
It's
by
looks
where
sick.
he lives.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, because it's right at the foot of Key Bridge. It's a nice
Cool.
spot. Tunnels. I mean, I'll say it's a nice spot, but that's a. I'll be looking over my shoulder, and like I don't know who's doing what around the corner. I don't feel unsafe, but I don't want to impede on anyone's privacy.
Definitely.
Right.
You
No,
know what I'm
no, no.
saying?
If you get what he's saying.
And it's so.
I know why you're saying that.
Yeah, that place is extra. That place is.
You could turn the corner and see.
I've turned the corner and seen something.
Yeah.
Turn the corner and see a hobo beating off.
Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
happened.
That's
It
what he
happened.
did want
I
to.
seen
Didn't
it.
want to say that, but that's what he was saying.
I'll
okay?
say
He
it.
didn't want
I'll
to say it,
say
but
it.
that's you said it, bro.
Hey, I want we speak the truth here.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all are
This
gonna
is
get
raw.
this is what Maryland's about.
I'm just walking, and I'm in the middle of my sentence, and I'm like, turn around. Turn around.
Yeah.
But no, there was a show supposed to happen at Fort Armistead, and then there was some problems with Fort Armistead, so they're like, we need to find another venue. I hit up, and this was really like our first time interacting with Key like that, but I knew they did shows.
Key Brewing.
Yeah, I hit up Griff. I hit up Griff from Redacted, who works.
Shout out Redacted.
Yeah, shout out.
That's a
Redacted.
band to shout out. They're so good. You guys need to listen to them. Redacted
yeah.
MD. They're
Jake
so
kills the
good.
drums.
Sweet.
But I hit up Griff and I'm like, yo, we need to find a venue. I wasn't even involved with the show at all. I just really wanted to see the bands. And so, because Chain Gang, like Dusty from Two Piece is
Yeah,
drummer
yeah.
for Chain Gang. And so I'm like, yo, we got to find a venue. This is not getting canceled. And we went to Key. It was indoor. They don't do indoor shows anymore because someone got drunk at this specific show and got mad that he was moshing way too.
He moshed into this like.
it was
No, dude, he
lack of
ran up to the
etiquette,
fucking.
You know what I'm saying?
he slammed into the wall and knocked the.
No,
fucking
no,
band.
because
Oh my
that was
God.
once he was
He's
mad.
just destroying property.
That was once he was mad. He
property
was
destruction
he was
for fun.
rocking people just back to back to back. And
He
like,
did it regardless.
I love making contact or contact getting made, but he was just rocking people back to back, and then he got put down for a second, and he got mad. And
Right.
he started kicking the walls
Damn.
after he got told what was up. So
Yeah,
he-
can't have that.
Yeah, but like that show, I see a couch cushion fly past me. Me and my partner are standing there like this, and I see a couch cushion fly past me.
My God.
I look down at the couch cushion, and I look back towards her to be like, yo, did you see that? And then as I'm looking back towards her, I just feel
Like
something
parking lot?
hit me. And I see, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, who hit me? And, like, me and her just, like, look at each other in awe. And then I see, like, trash, like, scattered everywhere. It was a trash can that had hit me right in the eyebrow. And Nico threw it. And in the video, you can see how it, like, curves around the corner. You can't even see it hit me. But it, like, goes like that around the corner and smacked me right in my eyebrow. Oh.
All right, so we'll get into Sunny Mondays now. Kind of talk about how
Ugh.
the band formed
Sunny
and then
Mondays?
coming up with the name and whatnot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Come up
Oh,
with the
the
name.
name.
I don't
The
even
name is
know.
literally all Oi.
I don't
It was always named. We were sitting in the car. Well, the way I remember Sunny Mondays is we're sitting in the car, and always like, yeah, I always wanted to be in a band called Sunny Mondays, and I'm like, that's a good band name. So how did you come up with it, Oi? Let's hear the rip. We need the lore. Is there any lore to this, or is it just like, it's a good band name?
Sometimes shit just comes right to the brain.
Because I think that the meaning of Sunny Mondays is like, Mondays traditionally not like,
I think it's open to
yeah,
interpretation.
it is open to interpretation, but like Mondays are shitty normally, but like Sunny Mondays is like, that's it's a sunny Monday. It's a good day. I don't know. That's my simple interpretation of it, but it can be interpreted in a lot of ways.
Spirit of optimism.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think we want to motivate people to get up and start whatever it is that they want to whatever goals they have set. We want to motivate people to just get moving.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you found this in your research, but there is another band called Sunny Mondays, and if this gets sent to them,
You're going
yeah,
down.
we challenge you to the death. We are Sunny Mondays.
I'll get my
Oh my
passport,
God.
and I'm going to
This
Spain.
just took a turn.
I refer to you as El Sunny Mondays, and you guys can take that
Y'all the enemigos.
because I think they're based out of Spain. Okay, but anyway, listen, we were first guys. I was on Bandcamp with that shit. Yeah, we had a conversation. What happened to that conversation? Okay,
it's a
sorry.
duel. So it's
Sorry
a-
about using your podcast as a fuel for this beef,
That
but
was-
Nah, no worries.
there is
That took
beef.
such a
I just
turn.
want it to be stated. There is beef. Because we are Sunny Mondays.
I just don't like the inconsistencies. You know, when we look up Sunny Mondays, it should be.
They should be incinerated and deleted from the internet.
But we gotta,
no, okay, I'm joking about that part.
We just gotta release more music. Honestly, like you were saying.
It's a competition. We got
No, yeah, we're gonna be more popular than you.
Which Sunny Mondays? Look,
Even though you're more popular than us,
Do
right?
y'all have a podcast or not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Where's your guys' podcast? Are you guys on a podcast? I've never seen it. Sorry.
It's like some folk music.
Yeah, we're a lot different.
I gotcha.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it came up.
good. That's great. Actually, that's great. Because screw
And
that.
if it did, I don't know. I stayed, like I said, when it comes to my research, I usually stick to the socials and stuff.
Yeah.
Every now and then I type stuff into Google, but Google really isn't even that good of a search browser when it comes to most shit. You type in stuff and it just gives you like,
I would agree.
you know.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
Especially the more complicated shit you're trying to look up, like you almost have to type in Reddit to get a good answer or something. Like
I do
Reddit's
that a
better than
lot.
Google, man.
I do that a lot.
But I mean, other than the name, like the way that this band came together, once it became a three-piece, just me, Oi, and Brian, we really like created came into our own like as our sound. Like we're a math rock band with like emo and like just like I don't know, like our influences kind of bounce all over the place, and I that definitely lands on why we are so weird. I call our music weird.
Weird is good though.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
For sure. And weird in a good way.
yeah, anybody who's not weird is weird. You know, like I don't know, like what the fuck is normal? You know what I mean? And I feel like
I'm not trying to sound like other bands. Exactly. So yeah.
I gotcha. So the debut single is called Homeward. We were talking about that
Yeah,
a little bit. It
yeah.
was recorded at Harbor Red Studios.
Ah, yeah. Oh yeah.
So where's that located?
It's like, what's that area called? Moravia Park, kinda. It's
Okay.
off the
It's like
side of
Parkville
Moravia Park.
I mean, he might have moved since then. Who knows? We don't really keep up, honestly. 'cause
The
it was so
producer,
long
the
ago.
main guy producer for Harbor Red is Kenny Kingsborough. He's he produced Fire and Elysium's album that they have out on
Okay.
streaming services, and so that's the first guy that we went to produce our singles, and he did a good job. He did Homeward and Unkindled, and they sound really good.
And then since then, we went on to the music space after that.
Yeah.
But we might have done something with like just local friends.
Well, we
like,
we did
like
mul-
home recordings also.
We did 2 songs with Kenny too, 'cause we did Homeward and Unkindled. And I don't know, we were young. I guess we didn't really know. I don't want to say we didn't know what we wanted, because in a way we did. I mean, we don't exactly play Homeward anymore, but but like just communication in a studio sense. You know what I mean? I don't think that we had really developed that, and they turned out really good though.
Yeah.
They turned out really good.
They're good for what they are. Like Brian is saying, we didn't know exactly what we wanted yet. Those songs were probably recorded like a couple months after we had been playing together fully. And
So what are those 2 songs, Homeward and Unkindled, about?
Homeward is about just feeling, I mean, lonely and like, longing for somebody.
Okay.
And Unkindled is about my late brother Jesse, who passed away.
Gotcha.
So they're 2 meaningful songs to us.
Mm-hmm.
We've evolved a lot. Like our sound is kind of done a 180. We still have elements of all of those things, but now we're focused on being a lot more like mathy and like fun and groovy.
Well,
Gotcha.
I just feel like, I don't know, because, like, we wrote Homeward, and we're like, yeah, that's math rock. And then, like, you go back, and it's like, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right? Yeah.
Most bands I've talked to, like, any band probably looks at their older stuff or their first stuff as kind of like,
I know. I don't want to be that trope where it's like dissing the old stuff. Devil Wears Prada.
They did that. They did that in an interview.
Yeah. But it's like we do kind of denounce it in a
We
way.
definitely-
We
no,
kind of
yeah.
do.
but I get it though.
Yeah.
I mean, because like eventually, like years from now, I'll probably look at my original podcasts and be like,
Sure.
I'll
Yeah.
have-
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I mean, because I'll be honest though, like I'm happy with what I've done now.
For sure.
You know what
I
I
think it
mean?
looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I just, but like I'll clearly see what I was doing wrong.
You'll always be constantly improving and being like, wow, back then I wasn't doing this. Now I'm doing this.
And
It's a constant.
an artist is their worst critic.
Right, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
That is always going to be
I
true.
think you can't have too much of an ego because that'll be your downfall. But at the same time, you can't worry about. You got to have confidence in what you're doing. Like
Yeah,
I know since day one I've been putting out quality interviews, but at the same time, I know there's always room for improvement.
There's a healthy balance. You have to have, you got to appreciate and value, like, I'm good, you know what I'm saying? But you also, like, it's good to have goals. It's good
Yeah.
to always want to grow. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I like what you were saying earlier. We were talking about something, but we were talking about just like how I think you might have been talking about just how you feel as a band, but like you want people to go out there and actually do what they are trying to do, you know? So I like that, and that's kind of because I kept hearing that in podcasts and stuff all the time, and that's what eventually led me to do this because it's like, all right, I can have the idea, but I got to actually do it.
Yeah.
you know?
Also, like the motivation to pull yourself out of like shitty situations and
Definitely.
just
Yeah.
like find better ground.
I think that all of us have, like, at one point or another in the past years or so, have, like, just been in the lowest point. And then, like, obviously we've had music the whole time. And I think that us pushing through and, like, doing this has ultimately always helped us. Like, these guys, always had these guys to talk to and be there for me. Same, hopefully I can be there for them. And, like, this bond as a band and everything has been incredible. As a human connection and playing music, for sure.
Yeah, there's always a fucked up kind of aspect to when bad things happen to you because no one likes when bad things are happening to them, but there's always some kind of lesson to be learned.
Hey, there's shit to write about.
Exactly. Nah, exactly, and like that I think that stuff is what really builds. It makes you develop as a person, and like I think that's
For sure. It grows you.
I think your
It grows
darkest
you.
days are really what inspires you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. As much as it's like you don't want to be in that position, but that is the truth of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you will grow from that, and you will find a way to turn that into something positive eventually, even
Yeah.
if it takes a lot of
I
time.
think people so many people when it comes to looking at anybody successful, they only see the results. So I think a lot of people are always judgmental about like when people get successful. You know what I mean?
For sure. No,
But
yeah.
they don't know what it actually took to get there.
I mean, we've been a band for 5 years now, and we're just, I feel like, getting to the point where we're putting ourselves out there in a more, like, streamlined way. Like, we've been very scattered across everything, and we're, have you noticed, we don't even have a record out. We're about to record our debut EP, and it's
But
been
you got
5 years,
music
you know?
out there.
Exactly,
You know,
but
I have
for sure.
friends that I talk to about like doing music and stuff like that, and like they get together, they practice and stuff like that. But I keep trying to tell them like all y'all have to do in order to be like an actual band is just put something out.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't have to be good. It doesn't have to, you know what I mean? Like
no, for
just
sure.
put something out there.
And I would say,
Something.
I would
Exactly.
say, if anybody who's listening wants to do music, don't be a perfectionist, because like now I'm at the point where I am, and I'm like, we put out a bunch of demos, and then I wish that we would just put out all our music, but now I'm like, oh, it needs to be better, it needs to be better, it needs to be better. But yeah, like, yeah, like, just do it. Just do music. You know what I'm saying? Get a phone recording out there, and now people will know you have a band. They'll put you on a show. You'll meet people who can play music with you, record your band, just help you out. Like, just do it. Just
Definitely.
fucking do it.
And,
Hell
it-
yeah.
and you know, like the thing is like you won't be successful at first.
Oh,
and
dude,
like you
hell
can't,
no.
You can't get caught up with that. Like,
maybe you will. Maybe we're
see,
lucky,
like
but
with it's up to your definition of success. You know what I mean? Like people ask me, like, "You getting paid with this?" I'm like, "No,
dude, yeah.
no."
That's like
No.
when you go to family dinner and they're like, you know, you're telling them how excited you are, and they're like, yeah, but like keep your day job. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
No, that's
Before
important.
before we left for tour, I was at a cookout at my grandfather's house. And I'm standing. He's sitting there eating crabs, and I'm standing at the table next to him. I'm like, "Yeah, we're going here. We're going here and here and here and here." And then he's sitting there. He's eating his crabs, and he's like, "As long as it's financially, whatever the word is, you know. What I mean?
Stable.
Viable,
Yeah, financially,
yeah.
financially, as long as it's financially stable. I was like,
Okay.
yeah, it totally will be. It totally will be.
I feel you. I feel you.
Of course it will be.
Yeah.
Of course.
But no, I tell people, like, when it comes to this or, like, a lot of things, it takes, like, 10 years to really build something. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take a lot for this to grow to a level where I'm able to quit my job. But at the same time, I'm going to keep my job for a while because it's got benefits.
No,
you know?
absolutely.
So, like, I've even thought about, like, if I'm able to make money off this, I'll just demote myself to the lowest possible position in that company so I can still just get benefits. Because, like, you know, I'd be making enough to still, like, have a decent check, and I'd be doing pretty easy fucking work.
Absolutely. I mean, just keep doing it.
But
you
I
know what
don't
I'm saying?
think that people should worry about opportunities being financially stable because, like,
No.
you would be limiting yourself to fucking so little. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's like at that point, it's like you're looking at it for the wrong reasons because the grand majority of people this is the majority of people making money off it, and this is the majority of people doing it. You got to do it for love of the game, you know.
That goes back
exactly.
to
Yeah.
public school making good workers. That goes right back to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And that, yeah, because like at a certain point, you could be making like way too much money off it. I mean, that gets to like celebrity levels and everything, but like there's a certain amount of money that is comfortable to live with, and you probably wouldn't need more for that as a musician. Where you know these concert artists are charging $4,000 for tickets, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. We're not talking about like I'll pay $100 to go see a show I really want to go see, but like
Guaranteed.
I'm never gonna drop a stack on a ticket. Like that's
Yeah.
crazy,
If
unless
I'm-
it's like some crazy event, or
If
like
I'm dropping
multiple-day
thousands
festival.
of dollars, I need
It's
a
420.
buffet in front of me. I need like reclining seats. I better.
I need to be treated like
I
royalty.
better be shaking hands with the band. All that.
Absolutely.
that. I better be eating crab and like drinking champagne.
These
and shit.
$4,000 seats are like the fucking
Yeah.
the balcony
That's what I'm
seats.
saying.
Yeah.
AKA Swifties.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. I wasn't gonna say the name because
I don't
we-
care. I
we
will
got,
call these
we got,
people out.
We got shooters for Taylor Swift in our fan base.
Fucking no.
Now Nashi will come after us.
Well, what's crazy is like
I wear
some of
short
them.
skirts.
What's crazy is that a lot of them are posting stuff and then they're turning off the comments. And I feel like it's because they know it's a little crazy, you know what I mean? And they don't want I get it because some people comment crazy shit, you know what I mean, or just shit that's like out of hand. But like at the same time, like you don't want people telling you the truth, which is you're paying an absurd amount of money to see an artist that doesn't give a single fucking shit about you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about for seeing your art. And I've seen the argument of, like, parents buying it for their kids, and it's like they just want to see their kid happy. Fuck that shit. Not for that money.
That's
Send them to a local show.
right. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
my
Send them to the fucking
Your kid's got to know the value.
Shamrock Inn. Send
Come
them
to
to the
Shamrock.
Shamrock Inn for $15. That kid is gonna get more enriched than they would at any Taylor Swift show.
Yeah, take your kid to a local beatdown show instead.
Stand outside. The drunk guy standing outside complaining about the show will tell you all about it.
Definitely. So another thing that I caught, it was an early show. I just wanted to talk about whoever this is. Edward Swisherhands.
Oh. Who is that?
The name just interested me.
Okay.
He ever played?
So
honestly.
he didn't play.
Oh,
he
shit.
literally didn't play the
He
show.
never
He
showed.
couldn't get off work.
Oh,
So,
man.
but anyway, this guy, I think he's friends with Dean.
So,
Tonto.
This really leads into something else. He
Yeah.
was put onto these early shows that we started throwing, or we had it was this little music community
It was
across
all of our
Dundalk,
friends
and
in
at the-
Dundalk.
it was all of our friends at the time, and we basically threw these series of shows called the rodeos, where I had these loudspeakers and a mixer, and I would run extension cords from the house wherever we played at.
Nice.
And we just had a few local bands on, or bands and rappers. We would have split genre builds.
Yeah.
Bills.
We would like.
That's cool though, because it gets people who aren't into heavier stuff into the heavier
We-
stuff, and vice versa.
We thrive.
I think we would start with like acoustic and then go into the bands and then end with rap later in the night or something
yeah.
like that.
We kind of thrive in mixed genre bills. Like we've been doing mixed genre bills since we started as a band. The Pastel Rodeos is like
Yeah, it was between two venues. It was this one house and it was my house, and it would kind of alternate back and forth. And it was just, they were both crazy. The one at my house is like right in the center of Dundalk.
Okay.
Everyone knows everyone in Dundalk. Everyone went to either Patapsco or Dundalk High School. And
right. It would just
it's
be like a million familiar faces for him.
To be completely honest, well, first off, people back then were hanging out at my house already. There'd be 20 people, 30 people out back
Yeah.
smoking. And
Like we'd be
playing
doing
Magic.
band practice and there'd be that many people.
Full on
yeah.
function.
Yeah.
Every night.
Yeah.
Every night. And so it was, when they were at my house, people didn't know if it was a party or a concert.
Right.
Everyone had a bottle. There was 300 people at my house once.
Yeah, it was.
I counted them with my hands. There were
Damn.
300 people at my house.
And
150
was that
inside.
overwhelming?
Yes.
It was crazy.
No,
It
yes,
no
yes, it was
police,
overwhelming.
Wow.
No police.
That's impressive.
It got out of hand.
It got way out of hand.
It was awesome.
Multiple people got carried outside. Multiple people got treated a certain way.
I smashed a bass.
But yes, it will forever go
awesome.
down in history as a crazy, awesome show that will never be able to be replicated.
I crowd surfed in my basement.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a sea of people in this
Legendary.
fucking basement.
Usually, most shows that happen at a house are gonna be insane, especially when you
Did
throw
Temple
in.
of Allura play that one?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah,
the
Temple
only
of
house
Aurora.
shows I ever really went to were at the headquarters, but that was like a more of a straight edge venue, let's say. But like, I imagine if it's a party type scenario, that it just gets way crazy.
We
were
played,
young.
we did quite a few. I would say up until about a year and a half into our band, we pretty much played like besides one or two shows, like only shows that we booked or set up. Like we set up a bunch of shows, a bunch of small things. Like we used to have a tight local community in Dundalk, and there's still remnants and bands going around, but not really. It kind of a lot of it dissolved. Yeah. Freeform, I don't even know if Freeform's around anymore. Shout out.
It is.
Well, they
It's
don't
not
do
with Mama
shows.
Sarag.
Yeah.
No, they just had a show.
Really?
Yeah, they just had a show.
Well, rest in peace the old Baltimore Freeform where we used to book, because we used to have some really cool shows there. That's when we first played with Daddy and the Long Legs, aka Kiss Your Friends. They're super sick.
Kiss your friends from Michigan.
Yeah, shout out
Nice.
Kiss Your Friends. Love them.
Hell yeah.
Never take smoke breaks. Fuck. What was I saying?
I cut you off. I'm not sure.
I forget what
We
I
were
was
talking
saying.
about local community.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Dundalk,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
this
But-
and that.
But yeah, it's not. It was a time that is not replicatable anymore. We were young, first starting out in the
course.
band, just used to just throw ragers in the backyard and play music.
I think people, like they say, nothing good lasts forever, but I think that's also misinterpreted because
Sure,
I
yeah.
think it's like you said, there's just eras, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
eventually the podcast as we know it today will no longer be what it was, because eventually it's it's not going to be in my fucking parents' basement and shit like that. But
Have to have us on again. We'll come on.
Oh, of course, yeah,
do a reunion,
definitely.
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think about that constantly. Like once I fucking finally get my own space, which I want it to be more than just like a podcast studio. Like it'll be like more like a local hardcore venue, but it'll have like a podcast
That's
studio
sick.
in the back, you know.
Yeah.
But also like
Bro.
also like cafe bar vibes. So like most of the time you'll be
You
able
got
to
the
just,
vision. I like that though.
Well,
That's
yeah, like
sick.
you'll walk in and it'll be like local bands can sell their merch there.
Then
Fucking.
you could do like interviews if you're having shows. Like you could do bands come in, do like.
Well, yeah,
if you
it'll be,
wanted.
I'll make it like a BYOB joint, and like I'll probably sell like some nice shit. I got
Yeah.
It's that's a long ways off for sure, but like one day,
It's a good goal to have, and I think it's sick. That's
I
a really cool idea.
Yeah, well, I think people like I don't need 1 million subscribers to do that. I need like 10,000. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mhm.
So like, this is how I plan for the future of the podcast, because people ask me like, what's your plan for this, or
Right.
like, how are you going to make money off of it? And it's like, my revenue is like, I don't even think of it coming from YouTube, because you have to be getting like millions and millions of views to even really be making dough like that from your views. However, Patreon's going to be a different thing.
Oh yeah.
Because the way that I do it right now is like, we'll record this interview. It's not going on live. So basically, and I have like 2 other interviews to put out before this.
Right.
So it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I announce it with the picture we take.
Yeah.
And then people just know to be looking out for it. However, in
Oh,
the
yeah.
future, I might do a Patreon.
Right.
Where like I can go live or upload it immediately. So
Mhm.
like you'll pay for that instant access and whatnot. But if I can get literally 10,000 subscribers to pay $1 a month, that's $100,000 a year, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's enough for me to go rent a fucking space and shit like that.
I think that's totally doable too. Like the
Exactly.
the trajectory. You know what I'm saying? If you just keep growing at the same pace and just keep
Yeah.
working.
I'm
like you're
pretty much
saying, yeah.
focused on like getting more or less like a more realistic number is like 50,000, because if you get 10,000 subscribers, not every one of them is gonna fucking.
Right.
But if you have 50, then like 10,000 of those probably will. It's just, but it
Well,
takes
then it's
a
like
while.
people are gonna come and see, oh, this dude has 10,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? And then like be like, oh, you know, he's probably got some people. You know, people are talking about this. People want this.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier just about how I started the podcast, and like the reason I like doing interviews is because, like, for example, if I were to just play video games, only I am really promoting it, and if a couple friends of mine want to promote it.
Right.
However, every time I get a band on, I promote it, the band promotes it,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh
band
yeah.
members promote it. So, and every time I've done an interview, without fail, every interview gets me a couple more followers, another subscriber.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if y'all are listening to this, subscribe.
Yo, subscribe.
like,
Hit the
share.
subscribe
Yeah,
button.
look, I originally did not want
Smash
to.
that.
I didn't want to be this guy.
Can we
okay?
get 10,000 likes on this? Can we get?
Smash that like
No,
button.
put the bell on to get notified.
Right, but no, like the thing is, like, let's be for real, y'all. All you gotta do is hit a couple buttons, and it really helps.
It makes a big difference if you're
Fucking
just
does.
watching. Like, if you just subscribe, like, even for me, like when I'm on Instagram, I look at every single person who follows me.
Right.
Every single person who follows matters. You know what I'm saying? And if
Exactly.
you are watching this podcast and you're not subscribed to it, you should just subscribe to it, because it's not gonna bother you and it's gonna help.
Well, yeah, I was like, I posted on my Instagram. Like, my Instagram has like 160 something followers now, which is awesome. I love that. My YouTube's got like 50 subscribers. So
Right.
like, it's a lot of y'all not, and I get it. Like, a lot of y'all ain't even gonna watch the full interviews and stuff like that. But for those of you that do, I really do appreciate it. And I would
Absolutely.
appreciate it if y'all just like, comment what the fuck your favorite
Just
part
engage it a
was.
little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do whatever. Like, I heard that you don't even have to, like, share it as long as you, like, hit the fucking buttons or whatever. Like, it fucking registers and whatnot. I don't know. But either way, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, you should mess with like.
I gotta get a corny ass,
Yeah.
like, music and stuff like that. Yeah, smash that like
Oh, yeah,
button,
yeah.
like you said. Fucking.
You should mess with like YouTube Shorts and stuff, because I heard that that's like the algorithm is like loving that.
Dude,
Yeah.
I uploaded one, and I've been uploading more clips to my
Yeah,
personal Instagram. But my brother,
That apparently the algorithm really likes that right now.
I can tell you for a fact that they do, because
Yeah.
I used to host another podcast on this channel with my brother and his friend. They did NFL picks.
Oh hell yeah! Okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so they do their own thing. Shout out the Distinguished D-Gents.
Oh hell yeah!
If you go look that up, they have their own channel now. Because I kind of pushed them to get their own thing, because when I had all that, I had a whole bunch of stuff. I had my interviews, I had their stuff, I had like separate, like, kind of shooting the shit podcasts. I took everything except the interviews off, because when I go around people and I tell them I interview people, I want them to go to the channel and I want them to see all the interviews. You know what I mean? I don't want them to have to be trying to find them.
Right.
And I told them, like, hey, if y'all are serious, y'all should get your own channel. I'll help you and stuff like that. But dude, they started uploading reels and shit like that. They're over 100 subscribers, and
Oh, that's
they've
sick.
been
Hell
doing
yeah.
it less.
Wow.
They've been doing it in shorter time than me. I'm like, yo, y'all are fucking outdoing me on the subscribers, but they do the fucking reels like you said, so that definitely helps.
Yeah,
I gotta upload more.
we have a buddy. I'll shout him out too. He's the vocalist of our band Through These Eyes. He runs a YouTube channel called East Coast Mosh, where he literally just
okay, I think I've seen
documents,
fucking videos and stuff.
yeah he does a lot of goes to a lot of hardcore shows and films them,
I'm
and
pretty sure
he's
I recognize him from pictures and stuff. I was like, I've seen that.
he just hit 1,000 subscribers actually.
Hell yeah.
He's been filming bands for like years and just uploading them on YouTube. So like he goes to shows and like either him or his friend Megan just like film.
If
like
he's at a show, if they're at a show, there's at least 2 songs from each set that they're standing there with the camera. If they're at a show, like consistently.
Right. When I go to shows now, I'll capture them coming out, and then I try not to record and stuff. It depends. Like if you have a YouTube channel and stuff, that's totally different.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like, especially in a hardcore space, because like I think this shit needs to be archived. So like I think that's totally different.
He's kind of doing the same thing that like Sonny's doing in a way. You know what I'm saying? Just
he's
like
catching the shows
documenting,
that
but
Sonny quite doesn't.
not in
have
the
time.
obviously not in the scale. Yo, shout out. I mean, he doesn't need to be shouted out by us, but shout out Hate 56. Like incredible documentary.
The amount of times that we've mentioned him on this podcast is deserved. Honestly,
but it's not just the pure amount of shows that he does, but it's like he has a system that he has programmed on his cameras to switch between stuff, to
He's a
organize
genius.
all of his archive. He has like all these like vault of like VHS hardcore, you know what I'm saying? Like
guy's a fucking genius.
I walked up to him and I was like, "Look, I don't need to tell you this. I know I don't need to tell you this, but what you're doing is so amazing, and you've probably done more for the hardcore scene than anybody."
Hell yeah. I had a very similar thing with him because he went to Mosh Against Addiction and filmed it in 2019. So
let's get him on here.
Funny enough, I'll spill this with the podcast. I was on Patreon for a little bit, like messaging it with him and stuff like that. I wanted to do my own, and I'm gonna do it one day. I'm gonna do a Harbor Discussions Festival where y'all will play, and then all of the other bands that have been on it will play and stuff like that. And I've even talked with some of my buddies that are in like little businesses and stuff like that. Like Good Time Health said they'd be down to come and like be like little vendors and like, you know, because basically what Good Time Health does is they go all around and like they give out free samples of their coffee. So they were like, yeah, we'd be willing to be a little vendor and shit.
Oh yeah, that's
So,
super cool.
I was talking with Sonny. I was like, hey, I'd love to get an interview and maybe like have you come film this like little show that I want to do and shit like that. This man is so busy, however, that I can't even blame him for like not even lack of communication, because he was responding and stuff like that. But him and I know other people, like there's this YouTuber named Brandon Buckingham. I don't know if any of you have heard of him. He was an art teacher. Like, so he's from Carroll County. I forgot what school he went to, but he went to high school somewhere around here in Carroll County. He ended up becoming like a fucking like kindergarten teacher or some shit. Ended up quitting and doing a YouTube channel and shit like that. And now he's like actually doing some pretty cool shit.
Hell yeah.
I kind of forget where I was even going with that. What were we just talking about before that?
Talking about getting Sonny on here.
Yeah. So like the Brandon Buckingham guy and Sonny, like a lot of times they only respond to messages through Patreon and stuff like that. And even then there's like almost like a paywall thing built within that. So it was pretty hard to get in touch with them and stuff like that. He said he'd be down to come on. It's just like it'd be so hard to.
Bro's probably booked for the next 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably knows about everything before it's even happening. Like,
I don't blame the guy for like not coming on here to go film like a crazy festival.
But manifesting it, because he'll come on here. He'll be on here.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, we've already talked and like.
Man's busy, but he's not too busy.
I've talked with, bigger bands and stuff like that. The problem is like a lot of them are very busy. Like I've talked with Sharptooth. They don't have a lot going on right now, so they were like a little bit later.
He played with them on a bill.
Filled in with drums on one of the bands on their reunion show.
Nice.
Actually,
I got a response from End It, but I gotta wait to hear. Well, I probably gotta reach back out again. But like the thing is like it's really hard to reach out to people who have mass followings, because even I get like messages sent straight to my requests or spam, and you don't see it right away.
If it's I mean, even as a moderate, like we only have like 900 followers. Like it can get, if it's like a good like day for us where we had a lot of engagement, like I'll get lost. Someone will be asking us like, what's the address for a show, and I like won't see it because it'll get lost. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you feel bad and stuff like that. So like, don't get me wrong. I've messaged Turnstile. I've messaged like.
Hell yeah.
So many people, like big people and stuff like that, because like you'd be surprised who you get. I got Trey Chaney from The Wire because I did, because I messaged him and stuff.
You never
like
ask, you never know if you could potentially get them to say yes.
Exactly.
Nardwuar, if you've seen his TED Talk, Do you know?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Hell
yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's like, I would even say he's a bit of an inspiration. Only I
love
inspire,
Nardwuar.
like, I inspire to be like as good of a question asker as he. I like his
You're-
research. Is
You
what,
are a great interviewer, I will say so
Thank
far.
you.
You've been asking good questions because I come in worried like, oh, what am I gonna
Everyone
say?
do-
But the
everyone
way that
does,
you
yeah.
phrase it makes it, I feel like, easy to formulate answers to.
Well, nah, thanks, cause like, I know that like I love watching fucking his guests like just be in awe of his questions. They're
Yeah,
like,
they get
how
stun
the
locked."
fuck did you know that? Like, I aspire to be that level of interviewer.
Absolutely,
one
I
day.
love that. I love that about Nardwuar.
Hell yeah.
He's great. There's this really funny interview where he's interviewing Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Flea just does not want to be fucking interviewed.
There's a couple.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah. He's like, I didn't realize the cosmic implications of it all, and he's like trying to push him away. I don't know. We quote that all the time. It's just funny.
Yeah, but nah, man. Like, and here's the thing. Another thing y'all can do if y'all want to get this podcast going, like, if you want a band on, go comment on their shit. Like, hey, go on Harbor Discussions podcast.
Yeah.
Tag me. Like, if you want End It to come on, if you want fucking Sharp, anybody, fucking go comment. You know, promote this shit. You know, and it's not just for me. It's for these guys too. It's for anybody else that's been on the podcast. Like, and that's what I like too. Is like, I'm not just getting myself, you know, noticed.
No,
I'm
for
getting
sure. Yeah,
other bands
you're
noticed and stuff
everybody.
like
You know,
that.
people who find you are gonna look at your back catalog. They're gonna go look through everybody. You know.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
I guess there's documentation, but there's not like enough documentation of like
Exactly.
people, like actual people
This-
sitting and having
for
like
sure.
a conversation, you know, in the music scene, hardcore scene.
And I think this is definitely interesting because, like, I don't know, this is the first time we've talked about a lot of stuff
yeah,
that we've never talked about our band. That if anyone listened to this would definitely know way more than
yeah.
they did before because there's not that much out there about us. I don't know, other than the few things that we put out there. I don't
Yeah,
know.
see, that's the thing is like I'm going like this is gonna be my job one day, and like a lot of people look at whatever content creation they do is like I don't, you know, if they really want to make a living off of it, they gotta, you know, like that's the thing. I'm trying to be as fucking professional as I can be, so that like when a bigger interviewer like Adam from No Jumper, Vlad from Vlad TV,
Right.
fucking The Breakfast Club, I want these people to look at me and go like, this motherfucker.
Right. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, you gotta act like you're already a professional.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So you have a demo called City Morgue.
City.
Oh, ha ha ha
So,
dude, the deep cuts.
What does that one sound like?
you know that one.
It goes like
I'm trying to think of how exactly it starts, but no, yeah, that's it.
so I'm curious where the name City Morgue came from
Tell 'em.
because I know of a rap group that's named
So
City
it's
Morgue.
not named after the rap group City Morgue. Actually, it's a very specific reference, and it's
Oh.
actually in which manner should I tell him? What do you mean tell him?
Tell him about all the time waiting outside.
Yeah. So there's this
Oh my
the ex guitarist of our band. We used to be 4-piece. We are 3-piece now. He had a voicemail where he's like, "Welcome to the City Morgue. Welcome to the City Morgue," or something. Okay.
You bag him, we tag him.
And this man was notoriously hard to get in contact with on the phone. So we would constantly be calling him. It would always go to this goddamn voicemail. It was
Hey,
frustrating.
Hey, if you live in Dundalk and someone owed you money for a long time, you probably heard that voicemail before.
Yeah. So yeah, basically so. So that's what the song is named after. It was the very first song that we wrote as a 3-piece. I believe that song is the
Yep.
very first song we wrote as a 3-piece.
It's a diss track.
It is a diss track, technically, even though
Technically,
it is a diss track
To whom?
to our
To the
ex-guitarist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. So you mentioned it's not in reference to the rap group. Do
It's
you listen
not.
to the rap group? at all?
No, maybe he
I
does.
saw someone wearing a shirt one time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the extent in which we listened to them.
familiar
He
with
saw a
that.
shirt.
I gotcha. I like them, so that's why I put that
Hell
note
yeah.
in there.
I mean,
because
I've heard a song or two.
Yeah,
I just haven't listened to
I
it
like that
extensively.
fusion between rap and metal. Some people do not fuck with that, like in the slightest.
They're
They're on
around,
bills
like-
with people I like too. for
Yeah,
sure.
they're around like Zillakami and all that.
Yeah,
aren't they?
Zillakami and Sos Moolah.
Yeah.
Sleazy. Fucking. No, but I was gonna bring this up earlier because you were talking about like multi-genre bills and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and like
For
we were also
sure.
talking about paying good money for certain shows. So I bought tickets to the Grade A tour, which is the Suicide Boys tour.
Okay. Yeah.
They're like well known for having these like split genre bills
Yeah.
where it's rappers and then like hardcore bands. I don't
Yeah.
think there's any hardcore bands on this bill this year, but like last year it was Knocked Loose.
I was about
Yeah,
to say, that's what
yeah.
I thought, yeah.
Turnstile was on there one year.
Yeah.
I think Code Orange as well.
See, that's
so-
sick. That's so sick.
Absolutely, and it was funny is I saw the Grade A tour at the Red Rocks in Denver last
Yeah.
year.
You went to Red Rocks? Hell yeah.
Yeah, so
was it a
I'm
good
from-
experience?
Hell yeah, I'm from Denver
Oh,
originally.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so like if
We're
anyone
trying
is
to get out there, honestly.
definitely worth it. If anyone's ever curious why I'm throwing up the West Side, it has nothing to do with Maryland. That's like my family's from West Side Denver, so that's like my little homage, I guess.
What's up with the shows out there? You got the local scene out there? You know the bands?
Casey Gates, who is the vocalist for Butcher's Dozen, lives out there now. So
Hell
I
yeah.
interviewed him when I went out there and stuff, and I have thought about like potential. See, here's the thing. I feel like I've
It's
almost
your
like-
hometown.
yeah, I feel like I've cemented a little thing here with this
Oh,
podcast.
yeah.
So like I almost don't want to uproot it, but when I become successful enough to kind of move around as I please, I'll definitely like have a studio out there and try to do more shit out there.
No,
for
I
sure.
definitely like that you've had the like a lot of Baltimore-based, people on here, and like general surrounding areas as well.
Yeah. What's funny is right. You ever have someone like totally random but famous like your story or some shit?
yes,
like that?
him, Franz from Attila.
Hell yeah. So like I posted a picture of a cigar that I was smoking at the lounge, right? And I see that this verified fucking no, you're good. A verified DJ who has like she's got like 2.2 million followers liked my story of a cigar for whatever reason, and I'm like I'm trying to figure out why. You know what I mean? I'm like was this an accident? But like, how did she even get on my story?
That's what I'm saying. They don't follow you.
Right.
There's no reason for them to be. Yeah.
And I was talking with my dad about it. He's like, hey, you should message her about an interview. And I did. It's probably not going to work, but that's the thing. It's like you said, you never fucking know.
Yeah. Always ask. Always ask. I mean,
And it's the thing, like I said.
send that email. Send that message. Just do it. Like whatever. They're gonna say no. Whatever.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
know?
Like, I do email a lot too.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the thing. A lot of bands, a lot of actors, anybody professional, they usually have an email.
Yeah.
Especially if they work with a publicist or a manager. Like, you have to reach out to these other people. Like, and because a lot of times they don't even answer DMs and stuff like that.
No, yeah.
I've DM'd like artists and stuff. Like, I DM'd Logic because he's from Maryland. And fucking, it literally said, like, this guy don't got DMs. I emailed him. I emailed whatever email I could find, and it literally was like, yeah, this inbox is full, or he's not taking message. I'm like, damn. There's some people. Oh yeah, Ryan Sickler. I got a response from Ryan Sickler's manager, but he just said that he's not accommodating interviews at this time, which either means he's busy or he's not willing to do it.
Right.
Which I don't blame him. That's the thing, man. People will get upset about shit like that. It's like, you gotta be a little humble. I ain't shit right now. Like,
I
I got a
feel
little
you.
local buzz, and that's cool, but, like, I can't expect these bigger artists to fucking, ditch their tour dates or any, better, they got
At
better
the same time, it's like
opportunities.
never stop reaching out. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I'll reach out, and then I'll reach out again, and I'll reach...
Because when you get to that, you keep building, and then when you get to that level, it doesn't even have to be that big. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
Carpet Company is I want to get the founders of Carpet Company on there. You know what that is?
No.
So, you know
I
what...
thought you were just talking about carpet. I was so confused.
You know what Supreme is?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, basically they're a local skate clothing brand that's based out of Baltimore, and they've gotten pretty big. They did a collab with Turnstile and stuff.
Oh
like
okay.
that.
Hell
So,
yeah, that's cool.
But I'd love to
That
get
sounds cool.
Yeah, I'd love to get them on at some point. But they got like fucking tens of thousands of followers, so it's really hard to fucking like get in contact and stuff like that. But it's like you said, you gotta manifest and you gotta actually. So you can't just like for any religious people, it's like. Prayer and manifestation only works if there's a little action involved.
Oh, absolutely. You can't
Like,
just
I
rely
can't-
on luck.
Yeah, I can't just say I'm gonna get a Turnstile interview one day and never reach out to any of the members. It's like, how's that gonna happen? You think they're one day just gonna it could happen that they one day stumble upon and message me, but
Yeah, you definitely gotta put yourself out there. There's a lot of. I feel like there's so many people I know who who are so good but like so criminally underknown because they just don't make themselves known. You know?
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Or it's like you see people who should be, like I said, actually releasing something. It's like it's sad to see some wasted potential.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's even sadder because there's nothing you can do to like you can say as much as you want to say, but you can't force nobody to start doing what they want to do.
Absolutely.
And you mentioned earlier about like kind of like outgrowing certain friends and stuff like that because they just went down the wrong paths. That sucks too, because like you get real close with people and then all of a sudden it's like you start to see like because being around people who have bad habits and shit like that will really like that shit.
Absolutely.
You pick
Yeah.
up on it,
My house used to be crazy. It wasn't too crazy. It wasn't crazy, but
Not
it
like
was
Jesse
crazy in a
Pinkman's
different
house.
way.
nothing like that. Yeah. I mean, nothing like that. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah. No, it was just party house. Really
Right.
hard party house. And point being, I've slept for a couple of hours for a really long time.
Right.
And I've spent a lot of time sitting, smoking, and drinking when I could have been doing other things.
Yeah,
You
I
know
think
what I
it's
mean?
fine to drink, it's fine to smoke, but you got to do that shit with the right intention. It's like,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And like you got to have your limits with it. Like honestly, like I'm open with the fact that like I definitely got a bit of a weed dependency.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? And like
I'm in there.
I wish
That's me,
I,
baby.
I wish I
I'll
could
smoke.
be I wish I could be the guy that like waits all day, waits till the very last minute before he goes to bed to smoke. Like
That's how I've been lately, but it's anxiety based though. I smoke and I don't know. I used to smoke like a gram of wax a day, and now it's like I smoke and I'm like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have done that.
See, I'm not too crazy. Like, I'll probably go like a gram a day of flour.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? And that's like throughout the whole day. And like, the thing is like, everybody likes being off work and shit like that, or like being on summer vacation. But shit, that's when you're burning through the most of your shit. Is like, because when I go to work for 8 hours, that's 8 hours that I can't smoke.
That's exactly how I put it in my head too. Yeah.
So
So-
just trust me, like I talked about this on my 1-year anniversary podcast, which will come out before this. So
Okay.
I don't want to go into it too much. I was in the hospital not too long ago for like 2 days because I caught a virus which gave me myocarditis. So my heart sac
oh my
and my
god.
heart got inflamed.
Bro,
yeah.
your sack was inflamed?
Yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
It's like best I can only describe it as a migraine in your heart. It was terrible. Fucking what were we just talking about?
Smoking.
Yeah, I know, but
This is what happens when you smoke.
yeah,
A lot of weed on the pot. This is the direct result.
I know we were talking about like not smoking and stuff as much.
You said 8 hours a day where you couldn't smoke.
Yeah. So, basically, heart sac got inflamed, was in the hospital. They told me you got to take a month or two off work, or you should, right?
Right.
So I did, and I immediately noticed like how much more I'm smoking and stuff like that. So, that's the only thing. I know that eventually if I go full time with this, like I'll have to, I don't know.
Balance. Find a balance. Yeah.
I don't think that it makes you unproductive. I really don't. It's just
Makes it easier.
it does.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
makes it easier to do nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
And like I have trouble like settling down without it. That's my thing. Like I can totally.
I'll be anxious. I'll be like, yeah.
See, if I'm disciplined enough, I
Or I won't be
can
hungry.
go to work without weed and stuff like that. But like once I get home, I get like super fucking anxious. It's weird because it's like I just need something to like kind of officially wind down.
Yeah. I feel like I'm still in go mode until I
Definitely.
hit a bowl. I'm in the same way. And that's bad, but also, there could be worse things.
Exactly.
Right. I'm not like getting blackout drunk.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I definitely like kind of have allowed that to be my main vice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I do like smoke cigars and stuff like that instead of cigarettes and vaping all the time. But I'll hit a vape. I'll smoke a cig every now and then. But I wanted to quit nicotine as a habit. Like I didn't like waking up and needing it. So mushrooms helped with that.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's been like the only thing that I can't really kick. You know what I mean? But
wrong with that. Like I said, I mean, I'm about to start working
But-
at a dispensary, so.
there's really not downsides. I mean, there is, but it's not enough for you to really like.
Downside is just that putting all this combustion in your lungs, putting the smoke in your lungs.
Yeah, I'll be
but-
honest. I'm definitely waiting to acquire some more mushrooms so that I can focus my.
I-
I want to focus my next trip on like really getting my dependency, down.
Oh yeah, yeah. I like mushrooms as well. I haven't only done them a couple times, but the first time was not the best. But every other time past that, I've like had a really good experience.
It's something you gotta respect. It's not really something that you do for fun.
Guaranteed.
yeah, I think so too.
I make it a ritual, damn near.
I've had this. That's funny as shit because I've given you mushrooms offhandedly on occasion, and you just take them and you're like, well, I'm just doing this now.
Well,
But-
that's because fate brought it to me.
Yeah, no,
I
but
feel
like
that.
I've held on to mushrooms for like over a year, almost because like I think like you're saying, I want to focus my next trip on something. I want to do it with intention, and I do respect it in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it is something to be respected.
Yeah, I've been looking into like the home growing process and stuff like that because it's like relatively easy.
Yeah,
At the same time, though, it's like it's kind of a waiting game. It's very patient.
and you want to be
like,
careful. You know?
do, but like at the same time, there's only so much you can do, especially if you have limited access.
I mean, I've grown edible mushrooms before, so I don't understand how
it's
those can
relatively
be that much harder,
It's
right?
relatively
Yeah.
the same. I mean, it's like I know strain dependent when it comes to certain things like time and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So yeah, it's interesting like learning about the process and stuff because if you're able to grow them, it's a lot easier because like that's the thing. I cannot find consistent
No, me neither.
consistent mushrooms.
But you can I think the ones we had these like chocolate bars that were infused with
Nice.
mushrooms, and I think they come from Washington all the way where
Yeah,
it is legal
so-
because it is legal up there in Oregon and Washington.
yeah, so like, well, it's like not legal, but so because
They can sell it. I don't know. Yeah.
I was looking into it. The problem is they're taxing up there for sure. At least if you go online and look up like mushroom dispensaries. Now here's the thing. It's not like what people think from what I understand, where you go in and you buy mushrooms and you get a receipt for mushrooms. It's like you're buying someone's little art picture.
And they
then-
give you mushrooms too. Oh,
Yes.
it's like how they do it in DC right now with
Yeah,
weed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
That's how the fuck. Oh, when you said you got them in Washington, did you mean Washington State?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's where I think that's where they came from.
Okay. But yeah, I've only done like the straight up fucking.
I've done mushrooms too.
I like eating them just raw. I mean, it's definitely not the most pleasurable
Oh,
thing,
it's
but
disgusting.
I think it really like.
We all went camping once, and I like ate a bunch of dust from the bag, and I was like,
Oh, that's the
"Fuck."
worst,
dude.
yeah.
It was the worst, but I got so fucking hot. I'm not even gonna lie, it was great. I was
Yeah,
out there in the middle of the woods, and it was great.
definitely, and I'm very excited to
See, I told you we were gonna get off on tangents.
Oh, I mean that's the whole point of this.
I love it.
The next thing I wanted to talk about the tape y'all did with pronouns.
Oh yeah.
And kind of talk about that. And, like,
Sunny Monday's pronouns tape. Yeah, we've pronouns is one of the bands that we've been playing with like almost since we started as a band. Like Chris Speeds and Chris Spates. He's the guitarist and vocalist of Pronouns. Like we met him when we were first playing our like shows out with Twin Coffins and who else? I don't know. But that's when we met him. Yeah.
Worst funeral ever.
Yeah, worst funeral ever. We'll get into that. We'll get into that though, because that's a whole nother tangent. But and you went to high school with Mike Decote. So he's the one who recorded that tape. It's a split between us. We did two of our older songs. We did Pants and Algebra 2, that song I was talking about. Pants is a reference to his cat, Pants, which is
Rest
on
in peace.
our shirt. Yeah, rest in peace, Mr. Pants. He was the like house cat.
I
of
gotcha.
Brian's house.
He was the best. He was awesome.
Those two songs on there are some of our like earliest songs that we decided to record with them. I think that was like, was that 2021?
I don't have the quite year.
Yeah, it was.
I used to do that, but
I think it was during the pandemic. We were just wanted to put something out with them because they've been our friends for a while, and we've recorded with them, or played with them in the past. Yeah, they're great. They're great people. They're good friends of ours.
Hell yeah. So y'all just got off tour with Koanashi.
Yeah, Kaunashi.
Yeah, we were talking
Yeah.
about them and Wisdom and War.
Wisdom and War. Shout out. He's wearing the merch right now.
Hell yeah.
Wisdom and War dance team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
that's a
out
tough
Worcester, Massachusetts.
I looked at Camden and I was like, so how do y'all say it? And Camden said it the way they said it, and I was like, right. So being from that, I'm Dundalk. I'm gonna say Worcester.
Yeah, it's Worcester. That's what I said though. Like, yeah.
It's like Worcester. I'm not. I
The
can't-
accent
Blech.
videos are getting crazy. The fucking schnockala fuckala dookala. Like
But
them thing, you know what I'm
I-
talking about? Fucking
Brian introduced me.
two do blue. Fucking all
uh,
that shit. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are being like extra with it for comedic purposes. Like I said, there's no way people are I could be wrong, right? But like, are people really out there just casually like, yeah? So I went down to the fucking schnockala flukala. Or
I
whatever.
mean,
Like, it's literally gibberish, bro. But like at the same time, like you kind of get the vibe of what he's saying. It's
yeah.
weird. It's weird as hell. But nah, I mean, you definitely know people who talk like that. It,
Yeah.
You know, it's not as dramatized as that, but like they definitely that too. Like that's definitely like. But like, here's the thing. Sometimes it's not always. But like, older fucking women from Maryland would be like Tuesday, instead of Tuesday.
Order.
Yeah, Wooder. Yeah, exactly.
Bull. My mom says bull. Bull the water.
Do you know about water
Oh
ice?
yeah, like boil.
Well, no, that's not even. That's from like Philly. That's
Boil,
like,
boil the water.
No, but
It's Tuesday. We're gonna boil the water. Yeah, exactly.
the Kaunashi tour was crazy though.
So yeah, I have like 2 notes. I saw that you did a midnight set in a living room in South Carolina.
Yeah,
So talk
yeah.
about that.
So, well, let me just talk about first of all Kaunashi, like just our significance of them to us.
Yeah, so I saw
They-
a post where y'all were talking about how the band got you through rough times and stuff specifically.
Brian introduced me and Oi to Kaunashi. This is a band that he's been listening to since he was in high school.
Yeah, I was like
Uh,
15.
If you want to talk about it a little bit, because like I mean, he's eating his trail mix right now, but,
It's really good.
if you wanna,
I'm enjoying
Shout
the
out
trail
Target
mix too much.
brand trail mix.
dude, it looks good.
It's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
So no, I don't know. I've been listening to them for a really long time, and I listened to them, and I was like, man, they're really good, and the lyricism, the vocals. Peter's vocals stood out to me
Definitely.
so much,
Oh,
and
yeah.
and I grew very attached to them, but that was like also for me. I mean, I had lived in this era longer than most people did, but that was in the time of like the weird illegal music app on like
Okay.
Apple. Like you get whatever you can to download whatever MP3s you can off the internet. you
Right,
know?
right.
So that being said, and this is kind of all encompassing. Like I didn't really get to view KO or any of these other artists as like real in that way. You know what I mean? Because I'm just scouring a couple
Right.
little MP3s off the internet. I don't know when this came out. I don't know which tape it's on. None of that. And then one day I met a guy, Jesse actually, the vocalist from Under the Pier, when he was putting Under the Pier together. He worked at a bar, and I do service work for bars and restaurants.
Okay.
And he apologized for having his headphones in and took his headphones out and put the music over the speakers, and we started talking about music. He's like, yeah, I'm starting this band, and next time I see him, he's like, our band has our first show. Guess who it's with? And it was with KO at that crazy show that ended in a brawl
Rockwell.
at the Rockwell.
Gotcha.
And I actually missed Under the Pier set. I'm so upset about that.
Shout out Under the
I've
Pier.
never seen them, and I feel really bad. They're one of those bands I'm always like playing a show if they're playing a show.
They're
or
crazy
something.
good. They're like some crazy mathcore. If you
Yeah.
like
I
Kaunashi,
don't know.
you'd like them.
Dark Trail Records. That's Under the Pier is on Dark Trail.
Dark Trail.
Their mathcore index. They got posted on there. All kinds of cool
Is
stuff.
that really the Fall Troy?
I,
The Dark Trail? That's like
I'm
a
not sure.
interesting.
But something about KO is what I was talking about. Oh yeah, getting into them. That's what I was talking about, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
when you first started really getting into them.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It was just,
perceiving
like,
them as real.
They just got so much to say, and like conceptually, like all their music's concept stuff with like Story of Jamie and all that, and it's like there's so much to relate to there,
Right.
On like a in my perspective and opinion, and like an unprecedented level. Like they tell such a relatable story as a culmination of all of their stories, and it's just
It is they are an incredibly, like, the way they craft their music and the story behind their music is incredible. And like Brian's saying, like, they do it in such a relatable way. Like, the story that they are telling, you can put yourself in the shoes of, like, you know,
really like
Jamie, Casey. You could put yourself in the shoes of anybody. Like, it
any of the characters, and some parents should put themselves in the shoes of the parents too.
not to mention, right, not to mention the fact that they do some crazy, like, mathy, like, stuff that we love to incorporate in our music. But, like, you know, I think that's a reason why we ended up, you know, linking up with them so well, is because we are both, like, mathy in our own ways. And
They've been straight up idols of mine since I was like
Yeah.
15 years old, and then it's like they go from idols to I got their logo tattooed on my leg to here I am helping Peo. Shout out Peo. Best
Shout
drum
out
teacher,
Peo.
Best drummer, best guy. He's awesome. He's so awesome. He's helped us out very much and been such a good friend to us.
he's one of the people who really believes in our band. Like, he really believes in our band.
But it's like, so yeah, I go through all that, and then I got this tattoo on my leg of this band that I love so much, and then like they're my friends, and then they're our friends, and then it's like, and then we're on tour.
It's
you
crazy.
know?
They're incredibly nice people. I've also, I mean, ever since he showed me them, they've been one of my favorite bands. I've been looking up to them. Like, it was a crazy experience. I mean, we've been talking about it for a while, I guess, but like, it really did mean a lot.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
they are incredible. And also, Wisdom and War, we had not met any of them. We had never, they had seen them during the Kaunashi weekend. I actually don't think I was there on day 3. They played day 3 of the Kaunashi weekend.
there?
Yeah. But they are also incredible people. They are an incredible band, like, super heavy. The tour package was just incredible. It was like a big family. We felt like a family.
Hell yeah.
And I think that it was, like, life memories for the rest of our lives, for sure.
Hell yeah.
I wish we could do it all again. I wish we could, dude. It was such a good time.
We can.
Definitely. I was about to say, like, you most definitely can. So talk about this midnight
Yes.
set. That
Oh,
you
my
guys
bad.
did.
Definitely
No, you're
detracted
good,
it.
because I had a
So-
note about, you know, because there was a post where it said, you know,
We
you
were
know,
originally supposed to play a house show in Bristol, Virginia,
Which is like Kentucky, Virginia. Like,
I
on the
gotcha.
second day of tour. However, the show got canceled. So the band that played with us on the first night at New Brooklyn Tavern, Severed by Dawn, shout out Severed by Dawn. They're
JoJo.
sick. Yeah, shout out JoJo's out, Lumpy. They're crazy good, crazy heavy. But they have a house called Kame House that Kami House that they host shows at. It's this crazy small room. So Drain and Drug Church, they're going on this big tour right now.
Yep.
That was happening at New Brooklyn Tavern the next day after our show. So we decided, or they decided, and we were put on it, that they were going to have an after party to this Drain show,
Yep.
which is like, the place is only like 10 minutes away. Like, not
Nice.
even.
Yeah, so we all got guest listed to the Drain show.
Yeah.
Hell yeah,
it-
nice.
it-
To be completely honest,
this show was too big for this venue.
it was like, I'm pretty sure from all the whispers around, it was like oversold by like 100 tickets.
Wow.
And like, so
it was like,
yeah,
in
I
there,
went
you know what
inside.
I'm
I
saying?
was in there
Like-
for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I watched the first. I watched
Thank God the fire department didn't show
yeah,
up.
honestly.
I watched
Shut that shit
the
down.
first 2 songs of Magnitude set,
Oh man.
and then I went outside. I love Magnitude. And
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I stood outside, and I mean, I was hanging out in the smokers pit, but that place was popping. And then eventually
Yeah.
we drove over to the
Yeah.
house. And
So I'm sure y'all have seen the soundstage show that's gonna be going on. Hatebreed, Vane, Jesus Peace, and fucking
Yeah, I-
Terror bought tickets. You know
Crazy.
that's gonna be pandemonium.
Crazy.
Shit. I'm like, yeah, I'm very interested to see how that's gonna go.
It's gonna be crazy.
I saw Jesus Piece.
Love Jesus Piece.
Hell yeah.
Tsunami had to drop from this. It was the Gridiron.
Yep.
It was Gridiron record release show in Phoenixville.
Okay.
At the Polish Club, if you know the Polish Club up by Philly.
Okay.
And Tsunami had to drop, and Jesus Piece got put on last minute. Like we were.
So is it like a surprise to the audience? Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
the place went nuts.
Yeah,
Crazy.
It hadn't played in a long time.
Yeah. Oh man.
It was a mess. It
Yeah,
was
They're on
beautiful.
my bucket list. Knocked Loose was for a while, and then I saw him with Kubla Khan, and like, yo, people don't understand. They're moshing before the music even starts.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Where did you see them together?
Soundstage, I believe, with
Yeah.
Kubla Khan.
Oh, we were there, and I had to.
Go ahead. No, because that's.
I had to leave. I didn't get to see Knocked Loose at that show because this guy over here got hit in the face, and he's
Aw,
like,
man,
"We gotta go to patient first." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna let you drive alone if you just got hit in the head."
right?
So,
Next thing you
we
know,
left. They got to see Knocked Loose. I got to see Kubla Khan. I love Kubla Khan, but I've seen him a bunch.
Yeah, I'll be honest though. I
Still
feel
haven't
like,
seen Knocked Loose. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to turn this into a story about you being about that. Are you okay?
I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Well, then shut up.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear the part about the doctor.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's an important part. So we go to the patient first. The doctor's like,
They got X-rays.
yeah, they're like, all right, we're gonna do an X-ray on you. So they do an X-ray on him, and he's like, you're fucking fine. I've literally, and he starts telling him a story about how he was fucking in a war, and he literally fell out of a crashing helicopter twice or something like that, and survived. And so basically, he's a little pussy boy and should just like suck it up and go home. And so basically,
yeah, I get what the guy's saying, but I would have just been like, "Don't care, loser."
Anyway,
Who
Story about how I
fucking
didn't
cares?
see-
Boring.
a story about how I didn't get to see Knocked Loose.
You know he'd be pissed as hell if you did that. He's like, I fought in the war, and you're just like, boring.
Bro, be like, yeah, I fell out of 3 crashing helicopters, bro.
Well, I can still feel the impact of when I got smacked.
Nah, like
My
I told
bad.
you, like I told you when it happened. Look, I've taken so many hits to the head at shows. You know what I mean?
It's okay
And
to have a malformed skull.
No,
they'll last for a long time. I've
yeah.
had hits where I feel something in my jaw for years. You know what I mean? And
I'll
it's
be
like,
honest though, I feel like the crowd went a little harder for Kubla Khan than they did for Knocked Loose.
okay.
That was a tear in the fabric of life. That little movie they put out was so cool.
Dude,
Hell
did you
yeah.
just see the movie they did for the Tuesday?
No, I still haven't watched it yet.
It's
I heard about
awesome.
it
It's
on
so
tour.
cool. It's like the guys with the hay on their head. Yeah.
All right, so next I wanted to talk about the complete Goner and Sunny Mondays chaos
dude.
pineapple hot sauce that y'all
I
did.
I'm sorry because
It's
we were supposed to
amazing. I
bring
love
you
it.
some today,
Don't even worry
and we
about
will
it.
make sure you get some.
No
but-
worries.
This sauce, so
How'd you hear about Complete Goner?
Complete Goner Sauce is a hot sauce company run by our buddy Luke, who is the main guitarist and vocalist of a band called Teenage Halloween.
Okay.
Who we played with at Baltimore Center for Good
yeah,
Friends.
one of the first shows that we got like really put on into like an environment that we like was new to us. Like we played at this house venue called Baltimore Center for Good Friends with Teenage Halloween and Matt the Band. It was a really really fun show, and that's how we met Luke. Luke also used to play with my buddy Vinny's band Bust Down and a band called Kissies a while back. So that's like kind of connection how I've known them. But they have a hot sauce company where they specifically do hot sauces for bands.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
so I wasn't sure.
yeah.
Yeah. So okay, perfect. Because I was gonna ask if this was like a private label or do you get to like specifically work with him?
Nah,
and,
yeah,
like-
we gave a flavor profile of what we wanted,
Perfect.
and then
okay.
they went and made the sauce.
And
how
I
they wanted.
understand it's a citrus and habanero.
Yes,
right?
I have the full
Pineapple.
ingredient list. It's like
Okay.
it has pineapple, I think it has lemon and lime and arbol, salt, vinegar, habanero. It's a really good sauce. Like I was
It's vegan. Or
yeah,
is it-
yes,
yeah.
Full
yes.
organic and all that.
Yeah.
Well, it is vegan.
It's like 10 ingredients too total.
Nice.
And
See, I'm all about that lately.
it's really good. Like I was like.
It's like sweet at first, and then it starts to get hot, and it is just like I could take a shot of it. I could drink a
Yes,
bottle.
I don't
could-
know. There's a thing to be said about like doing a gimmick. It's like, oh, cool, you did a hot sauce, but like it is genuinely
I'm
a
so impressed
very
with
good
how it
hot
tastes.
sauce.
That's important too
Yeah.
because I feel like there's definitely plenty of hot sauces, collabs, and stuff, and it's just probably complete fucking
For sure.
hot dog water.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fucking.
We-
We were dousing our Taco Bell in that hot sauce.
We went to Waffle House on tour, and the bottle was just like passed around.
Hell yeah.
Everybody was like,
Oh my god.
we give out samples at our shows. If you come to a show, you can try it. You can sample it.
At
If
one-
if there's still bottles left, I think there's like 10 bottles left. And
Put
maybe
the sampler on the table. Be like, look what you missed.
yeah,
Look what you missed.
maybe we'll do another run if people beg us to.
So
We'll do it.
Speaking of sauce. You know, at one point during tour we had that picnic. We had a picnic with KO and Wisdom and War, and we were challenged to get as many sauces as
Oh,
we
dude, I
can
forgot about that.
without
Yeah, so
spending any money. So we had to go around to all these different, I guess, convenience stores and fast food places and try to go in and grab as many sauces as we could. And we basically filled a grocery bag with sauce, and we also filled 2 Ziploc
I
bags.
kind of
Lost in
felt
the
like
sauce.
We filled 2 Ziploc bags by running in and like pumping it.
Arby's got
into
mad
the
at that.
bag.
Yeah.
But I basically was standing at the place we were staying at, and I got a call from Peo, the drummer of Count Ossie, and he's like, I need you guys to get sauces. Like, we have the hot dogs, we have the burgers, but I need you to get sauces. But he's like, you can't pay for anything. If you find out you pay for anything, you can't go swimming. That's what he said. So I went swimming that day. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god, it was great. We're like in the strange land.
We were
like some
challenged.
palm trees, you know what I mean? And it's like go to these fast food restaurants. Go in. I'm like, excuse me, I asked for sauce with my order. No, Cran said that. Cran said that with the cookout sauce. Shout out Cookout. I missed eating Cookout.
Yeah.
Mission
Oh,
Barbecue
Cookout
has
is so
fire
good.
Sauces.
Mr. Barbecue's cool, but
Nah, have you ever had Cookout?
Cookout is cooler.
I don't think so.
It's only in the South.
Okay,
look,
definitely not.
yeah.
My
then.
first time having Cookout, I was seeing the Acacia Strain on the 2-day tour they did with what was it? It Comes in Waves and Wormwood 10th anniversary in
Okay.
2021.
Hell yeah.
I was down in Richmond seeing
Nice.
the first nights of that, and it was like my friend Josh from Through These Eyes. He's like, yeah, after the show I'm going to Cookout. And then I looked at him and I was like, you have enough friends down here that there's just like a cookout going on? And he's like, oh, you don't know. No, Cookout's a fast food restaurant. And it is. It sure
It's
enough
so
is.
good.
I get the hot dogs because they cook it just like
Okay.
they would be at a cookout.
Nice.
Like, it tastes like cookout food. That's why it's called
Cheddar style cookout burger, double order of hush puppies
Bro, I'm so
with a
hungry,
cherry,
bro.
with
Yeah,
a,
'cause
with,
you
a-
get
with
the
a
track.
cheer wine,
Yo,
bro.
nobody eats those, so like I'm glad y'all are fucking those up. Those have been there since
We
like
were-
I started.
That's the thing. We
podcast.
pulled up and we were like, we're so hungry, and you're like, you got snacks.
Oh, definitely,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. So speaking of like hot sauce and stuff like that, do y'all watch Hot Ones?
Oh yeah, I love hot
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah, that show is fucking.
Do you take inspiration from Sean Evans at all? He's an okay interviewer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I definitely watch
Bro.
him. I don't want to say that I watched him and then wanted to do interviews, but,
No.
like, no, he's I like what he does because, like, it's
He's
a
pretty
diff-
in depth with it.
Yeah, but, like, it's definitely a different kind of interview.
If we
because
walked down here and you had wings for us, that made. I don't know.
I'm not quite at that level yet.
We'll go get the sauce right now.
But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about Hot Ones, I guess, for a
I love
second.
hot ones.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
I've been watching. Honestly, I mean, I want to my own horn. I've been watching hot ones since like season 1. I'm a YouTube degenerate. That's like what I watch. I don't know.
For sure. That's.
I'm a young.
YouTube
We're the same age, so yeah.
I feel like YouTube's, like, should be accounted as one of the biggest fucking media platforms. Like,
It's gotta be
it's probably
right.
got bigger numbers than Netflix and all of them
It's
fucking.
like Google, but for
What
video.
kills me is like thinking
Yeah.
about all the videos they have to host and like the hours and hours, like how their database must be crazy. Like
Oh,
it's
I
like
know.
there's like millions of hours of content on YouTube, and
Shit,
like
it's probably
there's thousands of
billions.
hours being uploaded as we speak right now.
Yeah, I
you know.
know.
What I'm saying? It's
I,
crazy.
I have over like a day's worth of.
That's what I'm
shit
saying.
on
Just
my-
you.
Right.
Right.
I've thought about that. Yeah, it's crazy. They're fucking.
Oh my God.
server rooms and shit.
We were talking about Hey 56, like they were trying to like squeeze money out of him because he was like hosting way too much data on whatever.
Wow.
What was it? What was that website?
I forget.
I just want to diss him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I forget though.
Was it Patreon?
No, it wasn't Patreon.
He definitely had some Patreon discourse, like some.
But it
Right.
was wherever he hosts his videos. But I know he hosts videos on Patreon.
That's how you know you're pushing videos through. They're like,
right.
yo.
Well, he has like hundreds of terabytes.
I know
Gotta be,
it's
gotta be.
crazy. He's got to like build his own shit because that's how much he's got.
He's got like server racks.
Yeah, I've seen like his posts about it. I'm like,
It's so cool.
It is. It really is. And like, I would love to hear him talk about that in depth on the
Oh,
podcast
definitely.
one day.
He can nerd about it. I'm sure.
So I saw that y'all played the Auto Bar.
Yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah.
like definitely got to be a pretty big accomplishment. Because I mean,
for sure.
Because they were, I was surprised to see, I guess, that they were on the Rolling Stone like fucking top 10 venues in America.
Is that
Nice.
true?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it definitely is an accomplishment for me and that was our first time playing. The Autobar was with Bo Racer, but it was really an accomplishment for us when Sunny Mondays played Autobar, just for the fact that I've seen a lot of, in the same way as Soundstage, but like, my bad, I'm touching your foot. I've seen a lot of shows there that meant a lot to me, and also like my brother saw a lot of shows there. I don't know. It's definitely a prolific venue when you think about Baltimore.
Definitely.
In the smaller scene, they do like really cool events.
Hell yeah.
And we know people who work there too. So yeah, like it was really fun to play the Autobar, and it meant a lot to me.
Hell yeah.
Cool place.
For sure.
I've been going there a long time. Long time. My dad's band played with Either Breather at Autobar
Nice.
You know,
long ago.
Autobar is cool, but I love venues that feed the bands, like Joe Squared and Pie Shop.
Oh, dude!
Hell yeah.
If I can get a pie at the venue,
You want to win me? You just give me food. Oh, that's all I think
Did they
about.
give us food
Who?
at Joe Square?
I thought bands got pizza.
No, I think we
Nah,
just
Chris
bought
got-
pizza,
Chris
bro.
got pizza.
No, bands were supposed to get pizza.
Touring band.
Oh, I
Touring
guess it was
band.
touring band.
Touring band.
Yeah. Okay, well, we can take
Still.
a tour down the.
We're going to Joe Square tour.
Shout
We're going to go play a 15-minute set.
out to Square though. They're cool. I like them.
I have a quote here from the Sunny Mondays track. I don't want to be part of this popularity contest. I just want to be part of something bigger than myself.
Yeah, that is a line that's just directly referring to like, you know, we kind of had a little conversation about it like before we started. Like, I don't want to be. I'm not the guy that's gonna be like, oh, cancel culture is terrible. But there's definitely people who will try to bring others down for the wrong reasons, and like, you know, there are serious things to worry about. If somebody's a piece of shit, if somebody is like sexually assaulted somebody, made somebody uncomfortable, like that is never ever gonna be tolerated.
No.
But if it's like stupid shit, just fucking get along. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
all here to just like exist, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to make music with my friends. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what that line is referring to. You know.
Yeah, well, I like what you said about the popularity contest because, like, most people are going to associate that with high school, but, like, it does not end in high school.
Absolutely not.
In fact,
And that-
it gets pettier as you
That's
become
what I
an
mean.
adult.
People will try to bring you down and like because they just want to be the only ones that's successful. They don't want to see people who they don't fit in their image succeeding, you know, like it's a stupid popularity contest in a lot of times. And that's why like I don't know. You find out who your real true friends are when you go and like play with people and
Definitely.
talk to people and people who support you. So we've met a lot of amazing people. It's not that's the minority. That is referring to the minority, you know.
Definitely. I'm going to take a...
That'd be perfect.
Okay, so you also we mentioned this earlier. I think you recorded 3 songs at the Music Space in Towson, and what I understand is you wrote and recorded those songs all within the span of a month, or it might have just been one of those songs. Actually, it was Floor Sittin'.
Oh,
Floor Sittin' was
this
written.
is
Yeah.
getting confused. Floor Sittin' we did write and produce in a month.
Right.
The songs we recorded at Music Space is our demo tape 3 that we recorded with Justin at the Music Space. Justin is one of Brian's old drum teachers.
Original drum teacher from when I was like
Um,
11 years old.
And those songs that has us are just a collection of songs that we wrote probably in the first 1 or 2 years of us being a band.
Okay.
It also has a feature dropout on that demo tape has a feature from Peter from Kaunashi.
Oh, nice.
So that we got him on that song. That song is really fun. We played that. He actually played that.
At my
Peter
house, yeah.
from Kaunashi has a rap side project. Just his name,
Sick.
Peter Rono,
Hell
and he
yeah.
performed at Brian's house.
He's probably
um,
about to go on right now.
I'll have to
in
get the
Philly.
Kawanashi interview sometime soon.
Yes. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that would be sick, and we can get. I can talk to them.
I'll probably
about getting
I'll
them
probably post a clip of us talking about them and stuff like that.
for sure. Yeah, they're incredible,
Because like we were talking.
and they're really kind people. I'm sure they would love to come on here and talk about more in depth. They're doing a series of him Peter breaking down his lyrics right now.
Hell yeah, and like I'd definitely talk about all that too, not just
They got some
Kawanashi
hard
and
hitting
stuff
lyrics.
like
They got
that.
some stuff to dig into.
Oh, I bet
Yeah.
definitely. So I think it was from Floor Sitting, and I saw in a post, it was a quote, somehow all these fuck-ups led me here.
Yeah.
I liked that because, like, we were talking about this earlier, how, like, the bad shit that happens to you really does shape who you are and all that.
Absolutely. I mean, we're like, yeah, like I said a little bit earlier, we've all been in really low places, and like I feel like looking back on yourselves and how you got yourself out of that situation, how you managed to better yourself, like every bump in the road, every time where you're like, I don't know if I can handle this, I don't know. I feel like you grow and you learn more about yourself.
Most definitely.
Like, definitely, the pain sucks, but it's gonna definitely help you in the end, you know?
Absolutely. And it's like, some people really can't take that information in. I understand it's really hard, like, you try to tell that to someone who was, like, sexually assaulted or something. And
Right.
It's like,
Well, yeah.
it's hard, but the truth is, no matter what, you know, if a fucking guy, a random psycho came in your house and killed your mom, like, yeah, there's really no reason for that. There's no reason that should have happened
Right.
to you, but, like, there's a lesson there for you. You know what I mean? And it's, you know, you're gonna grow. And I've also
You
heard,
can only do it that way you can. You can either let that destroy you, or you can try and, you know, be stronger from it, you know?
Exactly.
It's terrible. There are terrible, evil things in this world, unfortunately, and it sucks.
yeah, like, I don't know if any of you have ever, like, looked into, like, stoicism or, like, the stoic mindset, but basically it's, like, kind of learning what's out of your control and, like, because I had a teacher at Gateway, Mr. Jones. He's now, like, the vice principal or some
Okay.
shit, or the principal, I forget. He's at Westminster High School now,
Right.
but he had a sign above his door every day that said, life is 99% of what... No, it's like 1% of life is your problems, and 99% of it is how you choose to react to it or whatever. And it's like, that really is so true.
No, absolutely.
Your mindset and everything like that is everything.
For sure.
So, I saw you did a show. It was the Defend... I'm probably going to say this wrong.
Oh, this was a
Yinta
fun show.
benefit show. I wanted to talk about what the show was about. So, it was for native tribes that were under siege by Coastal GasLink, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Because I saw the hashtag all out for Wedzenqua. Again, I'm probably saying this stuff wrong.
There's a way to pronounce it. I wouldn't be.
And from what I understand, the Wedzenqua is more or less known as the Maurice River, and I think that's the actual name of it or whatnot to the native people. So basically, for the people listening, Coastal GasLink, which is a company, they began construction of pipelines on native land without the informed consent of the native tribes and stuff. So the tribes had peaceful protests on the land that they were occupying and doing the drill pad site. And from what I understand, 19 people at the time were facing, like, criminal contempt charges for basically protesting that their land was being fucking taken. So just talk about that show. I wanted people to know what the background of that show, because it was a benefit show.
Yeah,
for
the
that.
show was set up by this local band called Tripping Corpse. They're friends of Bedroom Floor and us. I think Bedroom Floor was on that show.
Bedroom.
Yeah. Bedroom Floor was on that show. You've had them on the
least-
Yep.
podcast.
Was Bedroom
Um,
Floor on that, or was it just Citrix?
Jesse was there.
Jesse. I think it was.
Yeah, it was Bedroom
Oh, it
Floor.
was Bedroom Floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really cool people. I think Tripping Corpse, they're a little bit younger. And they set up this whole thing in support of, you know.
I'm trying to remember the name of the tribe. I knew the name of the tribe, and I should still.
Yeah, like we kind of just got added to put on this as support and to, you know, raise awareness for this. And it was a really fun show. You know,
There in Canada. Well, not the show, but the.
Yeah.
there was some people there,
Yeah,
and
it was cool. Really cool
the
church.
venue was really cool. Yeah, it was was it Presbyterian, or I forget what the church was, but it was this big hall,
Okay.
church hall, and it was a very cool show. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
everybody's really nice.
Definitely.
Wasn't
I mean,
there-
that's something that native people have been dealing with basically
Yeah,
forever.
yeah.
I mean, it's common knowledge that, like, most of America was, you know, it was Native Americans, indigenous people living there way before. And that's the thing, like, America has become so hyper focused on immigration as an issue. Now, don't get me wrong, I see where the issues are with our immigration policies, but everyone forgets we're all fucking descendants of immigrants. So, like,
exactly.
don't nobody got no right in America nowadays to be talking. The only people in America that have a right to tell anybody to go the fuck back to where they came from is indigenous
Absolutely.
people. You know, it's like
The
and
way that America has treated indigenous peoples to this country is terrible, and still to this day they do not get the representation nor the respect that
Right.
they deserve from the U.S. Like we
No.
we corner them into these areas, literally. It's terrible.
Yeah, and it's like people gloss over the fact that we pretty much like we ruined their culture
Yeah.
damn near because
Yeah,
you know that we put them into schools, we made them change their clothes, their hair and stuff like that. My two friends I was talking about earlier, they're like their family is like basically linked to the Lumbee tribe of like North or South Carolina.
My friend Dean, he's deep. In the
So,
Lumber
like,
tribe.
you know, it's stuff I talk about with them, and I talked about it with my podcast with Sam Celentano, because, I mean, it's just atrocious shit happened over the course of history, and it's like you said, they're still not even really compensated.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, there's definitely a lot of wealthy, because of, you know, there's like the big casino thing, which, like, I feel like, I don't want to say is a stereotype, but, like, they're making money from that, but like that. I mean, that's not even
It's not like
close.
right. That's not like a super profitable.
These
crazy,
people don't
like,
fucking
yeah.
care. Like, don't get me wrong. Money's money to anybody. Like, as much as any motherfucker wants to say he don't care about money, money's
Right.
money.
You
But
have
at the
to.
same time, like they deep down, man, they don't care about that. You know what I mean? It's like they want that land that was their people's.
It
you
was
know?
crazy talking about casinos specifically. We went up to Niagara Falls.
Nice.
We went through New York. I found out later that we were on reservation land,
Wow.
but every single backyard had a little shed, or front yard had a little shed, and it was a little dispensary.
Wow.
It's recreational.
Well, also, like, the thing is, like, native land can't be touched by fucking police, federales, any of that shit. So, like, I know Sons of Anarchy, I think, used a native casino to, like, do meetings and stuff like that, specifically because it was on native land and stuff like that. So, like, not to say there's not stuff that goes on there, but, I mean, that's how that, and, you know, it's just shame how for a while they weren't allowed to even do their rituals like with, you know, peyote and stuff like that. I think now that across the United States that like all native tribes have the right to I could be wrong, like some states might be different, but I think
They
that
should have the right.
I think that they have their ceremony rights and stuff like that, which I've definitely taken inspiration from that when it comes to like mushrooms and things like
Yeah.
that. I like to incorporate some of the things that they've done because clearly like there's a reason they did it and stuff like that.
For sure, there is more than there is a spiritual aspect to it. For sure.
Absolutely. So you were talking about Bedroom Floor, and the reason I know about Sunny Mondays is because y'all played at the Garage in Westminster with
Ah.
them.
Were you there?
Yes, I was.
You were? Hell yeah.
I don't.
Interesting place, right?
Yeah. So I talked. If y'all are curious, go watch the Tampa Pissmen and Robo Kings interview because Elijah of those bands was kind of the guy who was doing that.
Really? He set it up?
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
I remember
He was,
an Elijah. I feel like.
yeah, he was. He had long hair and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah.
He I forgot if it was guitar or bass, but he used to play.
Elsewhere played that show,
Yeah,
so
he-
we were talking about Elsewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, so just talk about that show in general.
That
Like
show
you
was
said,
cool.
Very unique place for sure.
This show was in like an abandoned garage. There was like a sliding door on the
We
second
loaded
floor
Yeah.
where we just lifted all of our gear up into this hole in the wall, and then
That's how you did it. Okay.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
look,
I
look.
imagine those stairs you couldn't carry
well,
shit.
I
up.
couldn't even fit the drums through that little stairwell.
I walked in the bottom floor of that place. I saw a no trespassing sign on the front. I saw the paint on the walls and the couch. I looked down. There's a Twisted Tea container, like 30-pack container.
Oh, I don't
and
know.
it's full to the brim
Yeah.
of the Whippets containers. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? And I'm
damn.
like, man, this place, they're living over here. And then it's like I see the vines growing through the windows, and I'm like, this is a venue. I go and like I asked, what was their name again?
Elijah.
Elijah.
Yeah.
I suppose it was Elijah. I'm like, can I use the restroom? And they're like, we're in the band. All right, yeah, come with me. And so like, there's no bathroom. Like they walked me down the alley, and then two properties down, and I'm like, oh, so this is where you guys live. and then that's the abandoned garage down the street that you're able to have shows in.
Yeah.
And I'm
It
like,
was pretty interesting.
it was awesome.
Definitely.
No, it was awesome. It was.
And I think it was
crazy.
perfect vibe for this area too.
Oh, yeah.
Because we talk about it on podcast. This area is kind of boring, so like that's pretty much the kind of space
was
where
fun.
we have a show. You know,
And the turnout was great. Everybody was really nice. It was homie show, bedroom floor, and elsewhere. Granite State, I'm pretty sure played.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
fucking
It was
crazy.
a banger lineup actually,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was a lot of fun.
That was
We
crazy.
always tend to be the odd ones out on bills. I mean, everybody tends to always be a little heavier than us, but that's what that harkens back to. We thrive in mixed bills.
Definitely.
Mhm.
All right, so now we're gonna kind of go into the other bands, Through These Eyes and
Yeah.
Low Racer. We'll talk about Through These Eyes first, which is a metalcore band instead of a math rock band. So, quickly, just kind of talk about how that band got together,
That's like I said. I was making friends at Soundstage.
right?
I have known Josh since I was maybe 15 or 16 years old.
Josh, the vocalist,
Josh
Yep.
Through These Eyes. Yeah,
Shout out.
He
We'll have to
had-
get you on at some point.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. He would love to come on.
Hell yeah.
He would, yeah, he'd love it. He had an Anthrax hat that he wore to every show, and I'm like, man, this he's always in the mosh pit. He's always got this hat, and then eventually, like 4 years later, I'm like, hey, my name's Brian, and like, I mean, we had been like dapping each other up and all that, but finally got around to having conversations, and then quarantine with COVID and all that hit, and then I guess we got to talking more, and he ended up coming over, and like now we're like going to shows specifically together, you know, like we're going to them together instead of just seeing each other there.
Right.
And eventually we just kind of got around to talking about it. He wanted to have a band really bad. Really bad. And like, I mean, go to that many shows, I get it, you know.
Oh,
Me
definitely.
too. Me too, you know. And so we ended up working together and putting it together. And like I was saying when I was talking about like where I came up in drums and all that,
Yeah.
I come from playing a lot of heavy stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, I like playing along to Chan and all that, and I would like to learn some Latin grooves if I could actually sit down and do it. But like that is where I come from, is the heavier stuff. And so to me, that's just as much of an opportunity where it's like, let me do, like, I played bass in Fire Elysium. I'm not a bassist. I love playing bass.
We have a lot of fun.
I'm a
playing Through These
drummer.
Eyes. I think that is. Like,
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot of fun.
It's some caveman stuff. And Josh likes to call it metalcore. I think that's what the Instagram bio is. But yeah, it's definitely metalcore. But it's some like
It's
some
metalcore,
caveman, like,
but we
beat
are
down
inspired by beatdown hardcore.
stuff. We cover Carried
Oh,
by
yeah.
Six by
Yeah.
Enemy Mind.
See, like
yeah.
I feel like I talk about this too. This podcast does not give a fuck about being genre specific.
Yeah,
All right, because
good because we're in a gray area.
some people go way too deep with it. They're like,
for sure.
"How fucking dare you call this beatdown?" It's like,
No, yeah,
"Can you
yeah, no,
relax,
no,
buddy?
yeah.
Can you calm down a little bit?
Absolutely, we are not that. We are the opposite of those people. We'll call. I was like, we were introducing a band. I was like, we're a hardcore band. Are we a hardcore band? I don't know, or something. Like when we were playing with Peter, like it's whatever, you know.
Because guess what? For people who don't listen, it's all metal. to
It's
them,
it's
you know.
as my mom would call it. It's demon screamers. As long as
Yeah.
they're screaming, that's what my mom would call it. Not that she's a Christian. That's just what she calls it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
that's just a
Yeah,
stereotype.
that's what she calls. She's like, I would like Kaunashi if they're not demon screamers. I'm like, yeah. And anyway,
The nice
Yeah.
way to say that is I can't understand what they're saying.
yeah,
You
she's.
know what I mean? Because like, you know, my dad, he likes stuff that, you know, he can't understand, but anytime he can actually understand what they're saying, he makes it a thing of like saying, I can actually understand
Yeah,
what they're
yeah.
saying. I think, you know, because
That's why bands like Turnstile and something like that is like a good little boundary for like people
Definitely.
like that, where it's like they are just enough of the hardcore, but also like you know what he's saying.
So like they've been getting hate lately, I guess, from a certain audience of people who think that they're not hardcore
well, I
anymore.
think they're selling out, going too soft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
I
like-
might have a few statements.
They're too punk.
I do understand why some people are like they don't like the whole shift. You know what I mean? Because I admit, like, I much prefer like the step to rhythm style and
phase
stuff like
phase
that.
phase out.
Yeah. But if you actually go back and listen, there's a little hint of some of the stuff they
Yeah.
do now for sure. So it's like people can't be totally
Yeah,
shocked.
I agree.
No, they keep it consistent. They just got that sound now, you know.
Yeah.
And Brady's not in the band anymore.
Yeah, I heard that kind of caused, I don't know why he left or anything, but I heard some people were saying maybe it was because of the style change or whatnot, or there was other issues and shit. It doesn't really matter, but
It sucks.
it's always, I always like to kind of pick people's brain on it, because it's like, it's usually just a bunch of dick riders usually who are fucking talking shit, because it's like, how are you gonna hate on, like, here's the thing.
They're
it doesn't-
Baltimore. At the end of the day, we gotta
Thank you.
push for them. You know what I'm
Hell
saying?
yeah.
They came and it's not like they've been this big for this long. They come from
Definitely.
very small roots in Baltimore, playing small shows,
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Most definitely.
I think they deserve it.
they definitely
They
deserve it.
definitely are at a level where, like, I think we were getting into a little bit earlier, where it's like they're like pushing the celebrity boundary level, where it's
Oh, yeah,
like,
they were at the Grammys.
yeah,
dude.
yeah, and
Beyond the
at that
boundary,
point,
yeah.
your personality kind of becomes like a character, and like there's things to be said. But
Yeah.
like we're saying, they're from Baltimore. I'm always gonna love
I'm
them.
happy to see
Yeah.
Maryland at the fucking Grammys
Yeah,
and shit
for
like
sure.
that. And I think people are just totally looking past that, and they're like, I don't like how they play anymore. Well, it's like that. Too bad.
We actually went to the Glow On release show at Soundstage.
Hell yeah,
and
nice.
It was great.
Yeah,
it was a
Sonny-
good time.
I only saw Sonny's footage, but it looked awesome.
You can see him. You can see him in there.
I actually got
And
to.
Josh.
I
I
saw
think Josh was there.
Turnstile in Colorado at the Mission Ballroom, which is a pretty cool venue. I saw him with JPEG Mafia and
Oh, dude.
Snail Mail. Now, Snail Mail is usually not my kind of vibe, like just that kind of music in general.
it's
I like
lighter,
shit I
isn't
can.
it?
Yeah, it's definitely lighter music, but it was good performance. I always appreciate good talent and stuff like that. They were very talented, and JPEG Mafia was cool to see.
Yeah.
I was literally at the barricade for that show,
Oh, that's sick.
which is cool because normally I can like barely see what's going on between like all the people in front of me. However, like there's a mixed thing about being at the barrier, because like you're right there, you get to see the band. But goddamn, I was squished the whole
Dude,
time.
Travis Scott. No, friend.
I think about that shit. Nah, I should have the sound bite where it's like Astro World fucking
Yo.
shit. Yeah, nah, I brought that up on my podcast when that shit happened, because like it was a huge, and because the metal community has such a thing based around pit etiquette.
Yeah.
I feel like it's almost like the second your friend or whatever brings you to a hardcore show, it's almost like you're like, you either see it or you hear it. It's like if someone falls, pick them up. And it's like, I don't think I've ever gone to a show and seen any man or woman left on the ground or, whatever.
Yo, push pits, eat your heart out, bro. Because that shit, you'll get trampled. Honestly.
Yeah.
Stay away from push pits. To
But-
be completely honest, and that's just that I don't got no ill will towards them. But if I can't, if there better be some space on the floor for me to claim,
Right.
and if not, then I know I'm going to get hurt, so I just stay away.
Yeah.
We start swinging.
And on top of that, if I'm swinging my arms, if I'm in the middle of a cartwheel, I'm swinging my arms, and someone pushes me, that is the only time that I feel rage.
I got you.
At a show. Like, if I get pushed
While you're doing your moves.
During
Yeah, I agree. If somebody if you just get pushed out of nowhere.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no doubt.
My personal comments, that's all.
Nah, man, there's some shit that like I could go off about, like motherfuckers who are riding bicycles in the street. They have the audacity to like go slow as shit in front of your car.
Bro, up in like yeah, I feel you, dude.
Rage.
Like,
I get
I-
homicidal, bro.
I'll be all the way up there in the Sliver Mountains of Mountain, Maryland, and there'll be like a biker on this road. There, like the speed limit is like 60 miles per hour, and he's going like 20, and I'm like, I can't really go. I'm not supposed to go around you.
Those
right now.
people test your limits of like. Of
I'm like, go on the
decency.
side, bro.
It could be a nice old lady, and I feel like screaming some shit. You know what I mean?
It brings out the worst of me. Yeah. I'm
No,
not trying to. I'm not.
It really does, bro. It really does. I was coming from like getting a donut at Shoppers up the street, and fucking guy in front of me is on a bike. I don't even know if it was fully electric or whatnot. Either way, he doesn't get to the side. He's literally in the road in front of me. So I just fucking like speed around
Yeah.
him. I'm like, yo, fuck this guy, man. Like,
I can't.
and when I tell you, I was literally filled with rage. I had to calm myself down.
You were at your limit.
my heart started beating fast. I'm like, calm down. Like, it's not that serious. But, like, dude, it just, like... And I'm not a person that really gets frustrated at
feel you.
traffic.
I feel you.
Traffic don't bother me. But when a motherfucker on a bike gets in front of me, when there's a sidewalk or...
I will say, this is why we need bike lanes. I will say, cities should have bike lanes because the
Shit, I think they
cities
have-
should be traversable by means other than car.
Car-dependent infrastructure.
Um,
that crap.
So we should have bike lanes, but like a lot of the times, they're still riding in the middle of the fucking road. They could be on the side. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it like literally, I don't think there's anything currently in life that enrages me more than that. I can't think of anything, and like trust me, there's stuff that most people would be like, you should be way more mad at that, and I'm like, no.
no, dude. If there's a
fuck
dude on a
that
bike in
person.
front of me right now, I want him to incinerate to dust right in front of me.
No cap. I have no regard. They are the lowest caliber of human being that exists.
Can we get the International Space Station Laser to beam this guy, please?
I would appreciate it. So like one of the second posts I saw on the Through These Eyes Instagram, it was basically like either a practice or show. It was just in somebody's house.
Probably my house.
Okay, so we were just talking. Is that still like a practice space for y'all?
That's where we practice. I don't really think shows happen there anymore. I mean, maybe.
Taylor's finna have.
Oh,
One July.
well, I stand corrected. But anyway, it's called the Ranch because of a reason that I don't know if I should leak on the podcast because it's like location based and I want people to like show up.
No worries.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna say that because it's easy to find.
It's in Dundalk.
Yeah, but
It's in Dundalk.
it's called the Ranch. Some
Okay.
really cool shows have happened there. Brian grew up there, not his whole life, but until he went. Since when?
Since when?
Yeah.
2010.
That's where Mr. Pants lived. That's where Isabel the dog lived. That's where Manny Bunny. That's where Margaret the chicken lived.
Rest in
That's
peace.
where rest in peace, Margaret. Rest in peace,
Yeah, we used to have
Isabel.
chickens.
Yeah.
Chickens
Oh,
were cool,
dude.
They were fun.
Dude, I remember when we first started coming over there. There was this chicken named Margaret. I was always trying to chase her.
Dude, that thing would peck me. I'd be like,
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, we've been practicing because band practice at the house started when we moved in. Like,
Right.
Because, like
That
I
is dad's
said,
band.
where I grew up, we lived in a row home,
Okay.
and my dad had his equipment set up in the living room. So we get a house, and it's like, my dad's like, he's like 30 years old, and he's like, okay, it's time to start a band now. And he had the practice space, and so it's been practice space since the day we moved in.
A couple years ago, they knocked down a wall and kind of made it more venue-like in the basement. Like, it's
Yeah.
got a sound system facing outwards. It has
Nice.
a mixer and like microphone.
Subwoofer and all that.
It's set up in a way that if you clean the basement, it's ready to go for a show, basically.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I saw you were a part of a pro wrestling key
Haha.
beef metal event.
That was just this past weekend.
Oh hell
yeah,
yeah!
yeah.
Talk about that because just the whole I think
So
I've seen
beef
other,
beer and beatdowns. It's this. I don't know if do they do it monthly or is it just like
I don't- I
whenever they
think it's
do it.
occasional. I
They-
know
they-
that was the
Yeah.
fit.
They occasionally have this festival at Key Brewing. I think it's put on by Griff from Redacted, who puts on most of the shows at Key Brewing. Again,
He's
shout
a
out
bartender,
Redacted. Yeah,
and he is in charge. Well, I don't think he's specifically a bartender, but he is in charge of Key's events.
right.
Okay.
And
What's
anyway,
his name again?
Griff.
Griff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
I'll have to remember that.
He was
but
at the garage show too.
Oh,
That was the
shit,
first time I
okay.
actually met him. Was at the garage show.
Oh shit. Okay.
that was very interesting.
dude, I love wrestling now.
They-
I don't
they-
put that shit in front of
I don't
me.
think I've ever played a show like that before. There was a wrestling ring in the middle of this parking lot.
It always
Yeah.
dropped.
And so a band would play, and then after the band would end, then the wrestlers would come out and they would do a match. And then it would just keep going back and forth. And meanwhile, there's, pit beef trucks over here. There's
See, that's dope as
food.
hell.
It was cool. Key Brewing's also really cool. They have a lot of good drinks. Like, their bar is nice. It's a really cool place to play shows. And they've only recently just started doing shows there within the last year, I think. Really cool place. And it's 5 minutes from where we
Sucker
practice.
What's doing a show there tonight.
Yes, that show is a banger.
It is. What, dude? It sucks because I swear, like, last couple good shows I've been like eyeing. Like, I've always had an interview to do that day, which like, it's okay. You know what I mean? Because to me, this is just as supportive. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean?
can do interviews.
And
at
it sucks.
shows.
Yeah, you should do like a little pop up setup at shows.
I
You
have
should
thought
try
about
that.
doing that because I have like the little shirt mics and stuff like
Yes.
that I could do. And
Just
that's
bring a folding table.
and that's also like what the business cards are for too. Eventually, I'm gonna go to more shows and just kind of like hand them out and stuff like that.
For sure.
And when I get T-shirts made for this podcast and stuff like that, I've brought up the idea on the podcast before. I'm probably only gonna sell them at local hardcore shows, so that you have to go out and support bands.
That's a sick idea.
Well, yeah, and also it just kind of makes sense, So I'm not gonna have a web store and like I'll hook up certain people with some and stuff because like I want it like I'm gonna do like a whole professional like photo video shoot with it and shit like that. Like y'all will see when I eventually do it. I'm hoping to do it sometime this year. It might be way later this year. But yeah, I've already talked with John Mayo. I don't know if y'all know who he is. He does a lot of hardcore designs and stuff like that.
Huh?
If you just type in JON Mayo in Instagram, you'll see he's done all sorts of stuff. So
Sick. Okay.
his commissions are closed right now because he's a very busy guy. But I've talked with him, and that's who I plan to get my design from. And then
Hell yeah.
from then on, I'm gonna like have local people and bands and stuff model for it and stuff like that, and I'll do like dope videos and shit. I've talked with friends of mine that like ride dirt bikes and shit. Like I'm gonna, it'll be a cool video and shit
Oh,
like that. It'll definitely show the Maryland culture,
I love that.
The
That's
good,
super
the
sick.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
He used to
Though.
ride. He used to ride
know?
for years. Dirt bikes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I grew up racing.
Him and his dad.
Well, it's a big thing out here. I mean, well, it's like there's the outdoor side to it because there's a lot of rural parts of Maryland, and then there's like the city aspect of it where you
Oh,
got, like,
yeah.
the 12 o'clock boys.
Run,
and stuff
yeah,
like that.
riding around classic.
And I'd
Yeah.
love to get like that's the thing. I'm trying to get into every space when it comes to Maryland culture. I'd love to interview.
Dude, that
dirt
would be
bike
so
riders,
cool if you. Yes.
fucking all that shit. I'm trying to get into the skating, aspect too. I've reached out to like a few skate shops and people who are part of some like skating foundations and stuff. So yeah, I'm trying.
You should interview Chris, the guy who does the books and shows at Lurking Class, because he books some,
Okay.
some
Yeah,
really cool
yeah,
shows. I think
Salisbury.
that would be a really
Alright.
cool.
Hell yeah,
He would have a lot to talk to you about as well.
I'll write that
I forget
down.
what his last name is. Chris
I've heard
Rowe?
of that too.
I forget. Chris and Brian owns.
But Lurking Class Skate Shop, Chris, I would knock him down because he's great. We just played a show there out in Salisbury, Maryland. That was the first time I've ever been out there, and it's this really cool skate shop in this middle of like this like
Salisbury weird.
yeah, it's a college town. It's small and college towny,
I gotcha.
but it's like in this middle of like this business center, and then like in the middle of this like waiting area, one of the rooms is Lurking Class Skate Shop, and it's like it's just cool.
It's like a mall. Almost,
Yeah, it's like-
but
it's-
like
It's like you're playing a show in the middle of a mall.
I gotcha.
Very
a
cool.
marble floors.
But yeah, like Embark Skate Shop in Frederick. I'll get an interview with them one day. Carpet Company one day. Citadel Skate Foundation. They're if you've ever heard of the Bomb the Hill on Main Street here in Westminster, it's like a local thing they do every year where it's like a bunch of people get together and
Is it a big hill?
yeah, they bomb. They go like all the way up by 140 and they start riding all the way down Main Street.
That's sick. I would
Yeah,
love to
I-
see
Main
that.
Street's got.
Yeah, I think it's going on like tomorrow or
Oh,
on
what?
today.
That's
Let me-
cool.
hold
Yeah,
on,
let's
let me-
go.
Hold on a second. Let me look
Am I
this
allowed to
up.
go down the hill right now?
Yeah. You got a board in your car?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm ready to go down this hill.
I think it was today. Actually, yeah, it was today.
No way. It
Yeah,
rained.
It was today, from noon to 4. So basically, it's a 1 mile hill bomb through Westminster.
Oh my god.
And then there was actually a skate jam and best trick contest, and it was actually sponsored by Embark Skate Shop from Frederick. That's definitely like probably one of the closer skate shops. I don't think there's any skate shops in Westminster that I know of. Even if they're like little underground ones, but like
I don't know much around here. I've never really been around here.
I
that
used
much,
Yeah.
to do
honestly.
work at the Little Caesars, in the shopping center.
Okay.
I drive all the way out here to. They got like 3 refrigerators. And
Oh, I gotcha.
So drive all the way out here to do service on.
Yeah, there's not much out here.
Yeah.
I wanted to also talk about the 2-piece show with Knife Spitter. We mentioned this earlier because 2-piece is the shit.
Yeah, they
Two
are.
pieces fucking sick.
And I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, that one with Knife Spitter, that was a cool show.
Hell yeah.
That's what
that
I
was
was
super
gonna
cool.
say. What you're gonna say?
But December 10th of 2022, we played at Shamrock Inn with 2-piece, Piece Up, Suck a What, and someone else. I think.
Yeah, I
That
think I
was-
meant to note both of those shows.
That show was crazy.
was insane. I was acting a fool at that show.
Some bands just bring it out of you. I mean,
And it's the culmination of the hardcore scene and the Shamrock Inn.
yeah.
The Shamrock Inn brings out the crazy in people. Like that show is just a
You
lot
ever
of
been there
fun.
before? If you see a beatdown show or a hardcore show,
It's not a remarkable
just
building.
go. It's not. It's a little dive. bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the magnitude of the shows that happen there comparatively to what it is incredible.
It's
Oh,
like,
definitely. Yeah,
yes,
I've
they
seen
don't-
bills and stuff.
They don't have a sound system or anything. Whoever's running the sound brings the. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So it's like it's a little bar, and the old people get mad if you
Oh, I
mosh too
bet.
close to the front. Which people were doing at the two-piece show.
Oh, guaranteed.
But
There was this one specific moment where everyone just started jumping and diving into the back of the crowd, and whopping everyone on top of
But definitely shout out Two Piece.
Hell yeah, I'd love to get.
Definitely
them
shout out Pieced Up, and I mean you can throw Chain Gang in there for sure.
it. Chain Gang just had to drop off of a festival today.
Oh,
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
but for sure, love them. A lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Want to play with them again if they come up the East Coast.
Speaking of beatdown, talk about the Mama's Day beatdown show.
Oh, that was fun.
How
That
many
was fun.
mothers were actually in attendance? That's
Mine
the
I
real
don't know.
question.
My mom doesn't come to a lot of our shows. Definitely not that one. I'm sorry if I keep hitting
No,
your
you're
foot,
fine,
bro.
You're fine.
but
no worries.
I'm just stretching my feet everywhere. But that show was fun. Josh, the vocalist of our band, I think that was the first show he ever booked. And the lineup was crazy. Was it Damage Control, Bloomproof, Cycle of Abuse, Strangers, Through These Eyes? Pretty sure every single band on that bill is friends of ours.
Nice.
And just like really talented musicians. That's another Shamrock banger. It was a fun time. Anytime that we're doing beatdown at Shamrock, everybody just has a smile on their face and is getting hurt.
Hell yeah. So I saw there was like an Easter Monday show. What interested me was this flyer. I don't know if y'all. So if you ever remember the South Park episode called Woodland Critter Christmas, it just gave me those kind of vibes because it was just like
I don't know who made the flyer
it was
for
like a
that.
demonic Easter.
I think
bunny.
that was the first time that we played Key.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. what
No,
it was.
the first time we played Key was that Chain Gang show.
Was it like a Donnie Darko meme? Like what did it look
He-
like?
Are you pulling it up?
Yeah, I forget what it was.
No, I don't know.
But either way, it just reminded me of South Park's Woodland Critter Christmas because it's like it starts off like all innocent looking and shit, and then it just gets like to the most fucking crazy.
Is that the one that's like orange and red and like? I don't remember really.
Basically, it was like I'll pull like an image up, but it was basically like a fucking Christmas episode, but it turned all fucking demonic and shit. It was like a bunch of like a nativity scene with all these animals and stuff, but then the animals started doing like satanic shit. It was like
Oh, that's the show we played with Pariah.
Yeah, Pariah went viral.
Yeah, there was like a viral video from that show of them.
Doing crab.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they got. I forget they got posted on some media outlet, and it 100,000 something views, more.
So yeah, like that's a picture.
Oh
They're just
yeah.
fucking eating each other and shit. It's just crazy. But that it gave me those kind of
Hell
vibes.
yeah, that was a fun show.
Nice.
Key is fun.
All right. So who writes the lyrics for Through These Eyes?
That's all Josh.
I got you.
all Josh,
So
yeah.
I won't really go into those lyrics then. I'll let him kind of talk
Yeah,
about that.
for sure.
Plus also I want to talk about some other stuff. But you have one song out, right, called Purgatory,
Yes.
and then you have an upcoming Perception of Reality EP. What can you tell us about the upcoming E EP?
It's just like a lot. Well, from what I know, I mean, Josh has the vision for this band, obviously, but the EP is a collection of the songs that we've written
Okay.
over the course of like, so we started this band out in August, and I would say they all have a general theme of like suffering. Josh needs to be the one to talk about it because we just write the riffs and watch people move.
Right.
Like I say, we have a lot of fun. Not that I don't resonate with it, but definitely if it comes to the ideas, I would talk to him.
Do we have like an ETA on when the EP is gonna come out, or is it just whenever y'all get a chance?
Soon, TM.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say because I don't know when it's coming out.
I got you.
Yeah.
No worries.
I stopped myself, but now I'll say it after noting that I stopped myself. I was going to say, with all due respect to Josh, he would probably give you a date
Okay.
for the EP, but we definitely don't know a date.
yeah, It's not done. I'm gonna tell you, it's not done.
It's not done.
No worries. All right. Last bit of stuff we're gonna talk about is Bow Racer. That is how
Yes.
you pronounce it, right?
Yes,
Yep, like
like
Natty
Natty Bow.
Okay, so that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it came from.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
All right. And that's described as indie emo DIY dance rock.
And love it in the most loving way. I call it a front bottoms ripoff, but it's way more than that.
Okay.
And to talk about Bow Racer, you gotta mention the bands that came before, which is, well, the main person who writes the songs for Bow Racer is
Tony
someone named
Mezzocola.
Tony Mezzocola, Antonio Mezzocola. He is someone we've played music with ever since we started playing as a band. He had a band called I Miss You that was renamed to Worst Funeral Ever.
Before that, he
Um,
had Sylvia Fisher too.
Yeah, that. Well, I'm
That's
talking about the
before
bands
our
we
time.
played with.
But,
yeah.
but the Tony lore though, he had Sylvia Fisher.
There. If you want, let me say this: if you like Tiny Moving Parts but hate shitty people, I have the perfect record for you, because there's a Tiny Moving Parts record written by a saint, and it's called Die Sad, and it's by Worst Funeral Ever. It's an amazing record. It was recorded in the same studios that they recorded
Magpie.
Always Focused or whatever, by Tiny Moving Parts. Yeah, Magpie Studios.
Pleasant.
It's an incredible album. Tony's an incredible songwriter, and if you like Midwest emo, that's definitely a great album to listen to. And the other member of Bow Racer, other than us three and Tony, is Vinny Angelini. He was in Sylvia Fisher and No Gender, which is the bands that came before
Okay.
Worst Funeral Ever with Tony, and they've been playing music together ever since they were teenagers. So we're kind of like in the next evolution of their project, basically, is how I see it. Like, this is the next
Okay.
Worst Funeral Ever, Sylvia Fisher, and it's a lot of fun because he's a really talented songwriter, and it's another one of those things where we're kind of like checking off our boxes of stuff we want to do and just having like a really good time, and also like relating very heavily to the topics he's writing about.
I don't know. I can only put it into so many words, but I've got so much respect for Tony. Like whether it's reference to talent or to like topic, like he's on it, and he's always been on it. He invokes a certain feeling in writing his
Yeah,
music
for
and
sure.
performing his music. Like he's a
Ever since we
honest to
met him.
God performer. You know what I mean? And it's
Hell yeah.
I've got so much respect for him, and I am so proud. I'm like genuinely, fully proud to get to play music with him. We hopped into the birthing of our little music scene around us a couple years ago, as we've talked about a bit, and it's like seeing him perform at those shows, those house shows that we were talking about. It's like wow, this, they're good.
Yeah.
He's playing that guitar and he's singing at the same time, and he's got a lot to say, and
For
it's
sure.
Hell yeah.
I definitely respect that.
And
have a lot of admiration
yeah, and
for
like
that.
he wrote and recorded the Bow Racer record himself.
Yeah, so I was just about to bring that up. It's self-titled, right?
Yeah.
And then I was interested in the album cover because it's got someone's wearing an animal mask.
That's his little
right?
brother. That's his
Okay.
little brother Griffin.
I don't know if there was like any inspiration for that cover shoot, but like it reminded me of the movie You're Next, if you remember that. They were wearing like animal masks basically. And it was kind of like a home invasion horror movie, but it had like a kind of twist where it was like the family was like killing their own family.
Oh shit, okay.
Kind of weird. It was like basically like the family was killing the other family members to like get some kind of like what's it called when you
Like
get shit?
inheritance.
Yes, yeah, it was something like that at the end of the day. But they were all wearing these like crazy animal masks, so that
Oh,
it
yeah.
reminded me of that. So if you want to talk about like what the album's about and stuff like that,
I think, well, this is
an-
us speaking for somebody else
This
again.
is another one of those.
But
I got
let me honestly give my perspective, because I think that when Tony was writing this record, he was real. Yeah, I'm totally just speaking on somebody else's life right now.
Well, it's-
But he was definitely going through a time where he was going through a lot of growth and change. We've seen him grow as a person through knowing him.
The band name, Bow Racer. Like, you drink some Natty Bow and you race around. He doesn't do that.
Right.
okay.
The band name is a reference to the act of doing that. You know what I mean?
Like, he's been sober for a couple of years now, I think, and he used to I mean, he used to drink pretty heavily at shows and just in general.
Right.
And like seeing him grow and mature as a person and really come into his own, like he really is just a genuinely a good guy
Nice.
who has struggled for a really long time. And this record is him like coming to terms with this struggling and like getting a hold of it. Like I really do think so.
Nice.
And also past relationships that he's finally able to move himself on and separate himself from.
Yeah, and it's like in the same vein of me talking about like watching him play back at those house shows and like being inspired and proud and all that. He was also burping into the microphone and missing half the notes.
Right.
To be
right.
completely honest, sorry Tony, but to be completely honest, it's like
But all that to say is that we see
he
you know,
has
we've been there, you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, and nowadays he's a little family man, you know.
He's the
and-
most responsible person I know,
Yeah,
dude.
Exactly,
Like, yeah.
exactly. And it's beautiful to see, and for way like it's his business, but I'm proud of him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So much.
I saw that y'all did cassette tapes for that.
Yeah,
that's-
yeah.
I got one.
Yeah, that's something you don't see every now and
Weird
then.
Side Records. Those tapes are from Rome. Yeah,
Okay, no
yeah, they're
shit.
from across the
was
pond.
Hell
It-
yeah.
That was Italy, not Rome, or I don't know.
Don't do this right now.
Okay, never mind.
Where's Rome?
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Greece. It's like no.
We all do that. And the first show you played as Bo Racer was at the Depot, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We've I guess shout out to Depot in a way because we've been playing there since we played the open mic there as a band before
That's
we
how-
played
that
any
was our
shows.
first time being in
Yeah,
front of
we played
Okay.
open mic at the Depot.
Tuesday nights.
It's kind of like the default like
Mhm.
small venue in Baltimore that'll like if you need a show book, the Depot will probably get you.
Okay.
So like they've always been like in the back corner where we've played shows there, and that show was I'm pretty sure that show was put on by Chris from Pronouns.
Okay.
What is it? A Day Without Love, Bo Racer. Yeah, and yeah. That was a good one.
Boy Racer has played 2 shows.
I was gonna ask about other shows you played.
We've played 2 total. The other one was a last minute because one band got dropped off of a Mechanical Canine tour.
The band got dropped off and they were playing Auto Bar and they needed a band to fill a slot and
Okay.
Bo Racer hopped on.
Nice.
So,
what-
I wish that we
There will be more Bo
there
Racer
will be
shows.
more Bo
There
Racer
will be.
shows.
yeah, my final question on Bo Racer was just talk about what future plans you have, shows, more music.
We
touring.
have
Tony wants to work on new songs. He's writing new songs right now, apparently, and then wants to practice all of them together.
yeah. We are writing a record.
So,
There's at least one new song done right now.
like, right now, we're kind of, like, taking a break from practice, kind of, and he's just been writing. So I'm going to probably talk to him about that soon,
Yeah.
because I haven't seen him in a while.
I mean, I'll touch on this. I mean, this is a project that they are not in, but I'm in with Tony. He plays drums in a band that I play in called No Thanks to You.
With
I
Vinny.
was
Vinny's
yeah.
that was
also-
one of my final
Yeah.
notes. So definitely talk
yeah.
about
Vinny
that.
and Tony are in another band called No Thanks to You. It's a band that Vinny started and that he got Tony on drums, and also this guy named Scott Long. He's the second guitarist. It's like a screamo type band.
Got projects out with that.
Yeah, there's an album out called Numbing. It came out a few months ago.
Cool.
Produced all entirely by Vinny, and it's fun. We just played our first show at the Crown and our second show at Metro Gallery with Blind Girls,
Nice.
and Heavenly Blue, which was a lot of fun. It was a really cool show. It kind of was a disaster. Our pedals were like not working, but all this to say, what was I saying? Why was I
You were
talking
just talking about No
this?
Thanks to You.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I it's just another project I play in with them, and keep up with. Tony's actually a really good drummer,
He
like surprisingly good drummer, and like I didn't know that until I started playing this band with him.
and Fire and Elysian is no longer playing, right?
Not right now. Scott, the drummer, has a baby. He's like 40-something years old and just had a baby.
Gotcha.
It's my dad's band. I always say that. I mean, I guess in a way, it's I'm a member, but it's my dad's band.
I gotcha.
They've gotten older now. Like 2000 between 2010 and 2014, they were playing.
Yeah, they were
playing,
popping.
Playing.
When we first started playing shows, me and Oy really hadn't played shows, but this band, he'd already been yeah.
I've played Fishhead Cantina.
Nice.
Playing for Frankie. I can't think of Frankie's last name right now. Frank Everly.
Frank Everly.
He puts on a lot of shows, and like, yeah, I don't know. He's cool peoples, and I got mad respect for Frank.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Fire and Elysium's cool. Fire and I like it.
Hell yeah. That was all I had on
yeah.
everything. Pretty much a 3-hour podcast.
Yeah.
If
hell
y'all
yeah.
just
Time
wanted to-
flies.
Definitely. If y'all just want to promote like all the social medias and stuff for the bands
Yes.
and where you can find all the music and stuff, and then we'll wrap it up.
All right, let me do a little plug. So our main social media, if you guys want to keep up with everything that we do, follow us on Instagram at Sunny Mondays Band on Instagram, and go follow our YouTube, Sunny Mondays on YouTube. We just dropped a new song called Floor Sittin'. We're on every streaming service: Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, anywhere you can stream music. We are not Sunny Mondays, the folk band, the two-piece folk band
Fuck
from
no.
Spain. We are please.
Come to America and do something
if
about
that
it.
result pops up, I want you to report it for harassment and spam. No, I'm joking. But just stream our new song and keep a lookout for
Like,
shows.
share, and subscribe to us. Don't do it to them.
Exactly. Go on if you like to them. Go unlike it. No, just keep an eye out. We have an EP coming out very soon. We've got some pretty cool show announcements coming up, and I don't know. Just support local bands. Go to shows.
Hell yeah.
And show
Also,
love.
Like, if you're someone that like goes to shows frequently, also get your friends to come with you, because I try to like convince everyone I know, and
Tell them to come.
I feel like word of mouth works the best. Don't just like share posts. I mean, that helps. Like,
Yeah, show up and show out.
Like,
We
Tell
love
a
to see
friend
your
about
pretty
the
faces.
podcast.
bring someone with you. Make your friends come to shows with you, and make them buy merch.
Hell yeah.
And then start bands with them, and then play shows with
Pick
us.
up an instrument,
Yeah.
because like anyone has this opportunity. It's like really out here. You have a local scene.
We talked about it a lot. Just do it.
Hell
Just
yeah.
do it.